Port Adelaide. McKee to do the ruck work. And we're just about set to go. The umpires are Stephen McBurney, Stephen Hanley and John Harvey. Buckley you can see in the middle there. McKee forced to sit underneath it and wait. Parker over the top. It comes down towards the half-forward line now. Collingwood incidentally going to the right of screen and the Dockers to the left. Fletcher leads in the race for the ball close to the boundary line, almost taken over. Good pressure applied by Tarkin Lockyer. They keep it inside, going inside 50 for the first time. One hand no good. Modra was there, unable to take the mark. Taken to the ground, pulled in underneath. McManus lurking, no one able to get it out cleanly. Eventually the hand pass is swept clear, and it was Steinfort wearing 15 who gets it out quickly to Lockyer. Lockyer comes to the half back line and the mark is taken by Kinnear.
Paul, it looks like Shane Parker's got the job matching up on Nathan Buckley, which will be a big job for him.
A big task for Shane, that's for sure. But Buckley critical to the side tonight, and we've got Lee Brown picking up Chris Tarrant.
Well, Tarrant kicks the ball into the forward pocket area and the mark is taken. It looks like it's Rintoul for Collingwood inside their forward 50. A chance for the first score for the Magpies.
Look, it's a good chance from this angle too, Rintoul. He's a good striker of the ball. He was first last week. He's top in the league for Shepherds. I know it's only early, but he likes the 1%ers too. Oh,
beautiful kick. Magnificent kick. It's all the way. Mark that down, Chad Rintoul. Well, Paul, that was the greatest tip I've heard. Let's get to the races next Saturday afternoon.
I don't think I'll risk it again. I think I'll sit on that one. But look, he's a good hit of the ball. And from that pocket, we've seen it time and time again that players, they strike the ball well enough. It doesn't drift much in the air. It sits pretty true and straight. So he's backed himself in. And, you know, if you see players take marks 30, 40 out from that angle, they'll go back and they should go back, settle, have a shot. So a great start for the Magpies.
Rintoul getting his 27th career goal, his first goal for the night. Just into their attacking zone once, but it certainly paid immediate dividends. In the middle once again, McKee doing the ruck work. At the bottom of the pack was Freeborn. He's still there, Glenn Freeborn, pulls the ball in underneath. McManus is right there with him, and the umpire decides on a ball up.
Well, you've got to be pretty careful of that one, don't you? A little drag the ball back underneath. Probably a little bit lucky, but the umpire on the wrong side of the pack there, and it's going to be critical out of the centre.
So the umpire to restart play. Excellent bounce. Our umpires tonight are Steve McBurney, Steve Hanley and John Harvey. The inimitable John Harvey. Fletcher from the forward end of the square. Kicks the ball into the forward pocket area. Modra just lost the footy. Prestigiacomo there. So is Pavlich. And Mark Richardson just giving Pavlich a little bit of a help on. There's the Dockers bench. Daniel Metropolis. Jason Norrish. Looked like it might be James Walker and couldn't quite identify the fourth player, but we'll find that out shortly as the ball gets back towards the middle of the ground. Sorry, Sandy, you were going to say something then. I interrupted, sorry.
No. We'll watch Buckley here, but I was going to ask you about the forwards as O'Brien comes charging forward. The Collingwood in towards the 50 once again. Black was there for the Dockers, could have almost interfered and has. It's going to be a free kick. I was going to ask you, and I spoke to Paul in the opening about it after Fremantle had plenty to say about the treatment of Modra last week. Do you think the forwards are getting a fair go?
Well, yes. At this stage, I don't think there's a great deal of drama. I mean, there was a few controversial ones, I suppose, because they said the jumper pulling was going to be penalised all the way through the Ansett Cup and at the start of the season.
Carr setting up that thrust out of attack, but going in once again is Ryan Loney for Collingwood. Chopped off, however. Cook to bring it back. Towards centre wing. Waitland electing not to play. He left it to Stephen McKee.
We know these two sides like to kick it short traditionally, but look out. Dion Woods.
Almost taken high. Manages to get it away to Loney again. Loney, blind kick, however, and the easy mark taken by Lee Brown.
Brown, no one really to kick to. He's got to go short. The mark is taken by Bootsma. He goes long now and goes out in the direction of Longmuir. Longmuir's taken the mark away from Rintoul. Backed himself, left the ball behind. Going to get penalised? No. Got it away. McManus run down. Rintoul! Oh, Chad! You're the star of the game so far. Magpies go forward once again. Gee, Mickey Moldhouse would be happy with that. That's very much a 1%er that they get a lot of credit for. Longmuir forces the ball forward. Bell, the star recruit over the summer for Fremantle, kicked forward to the half-forward area, free kick. That might have been a jumper holding incident, Paul.
Yes, there was something there, and that one just got to get closer to him at the strike of the ball. But Chad Rintoul, what a great start. And look, that can set a standard for a side.
Hazelby goes long, kicks it all the way to the square. Modra, gee, in the Adelaide days, he would have flown right over the top of that pack, taken a screamer, gone back and kicked a goal. Just a little hesitant on that occasion.
We were waiting for it, weren't we? The kick just went a bit too deep into the goal square. We either got to kick that goal. If you look at the replay here, Chad Rintoul should stand tall. Look at that. Now that is a second, third and fourth effort, and was rewarded justifiably for it.
Tremendous tackling there by Rintoul as Collingwood run it out once again, courtesy of Loney, down towards the centre of the ground. Got the one goal at the moment through Rintoul. The hand pass from Lockyer is going to be okay. Buckley another possession. Up towards
shocking kick, Sandy, wasn't it? Right on the chest of Chris Tarrant.
Tarrant couldn't have asked for anything better. Pops it into the pocket and Fraser is there and he takes the mark.
You know, it's interesting, Tarrant, you don't mind him getting the ball that far out, but he's a good striker of the ball. Buckley's going to use it well. This kid tonight, Josh Fraser, well, it's a chance for him to step up another notch in league football because he's on a guy who does sometimes tend to get lost in traffic, Daniel Bandy. A great athlete, but he can lose you. You can turn him around a bit. So let's see what Josh can do, see if he can finish it off.
Well, Rintoul kicked one from a somewhat similar position. Josh is a little closer and he's drifted this across the face, right across the face, and just sneaking it in from behind. 19-year-old from Mansfield.
Sandy, I've got the bench down here, boys.
Good on you, Dougie.
Yeah, Collingwood, you got Jukovic, Nick Davis, Ben Johnson and Andrew DiMartina. And that man, Robbo, you're looking for was Ben Cunningham, who's taken the place of Stephen Coops out of the selected side.
And Dougie, just confirming, you're saying the wind's a little swirly down there.
It is, Sandy, yeah, a little bit swirly, and don't be surprised some of the players miss their targets.
The big leaper there was Longmuir. Couldn't take it at the back of Scotty Burns. Another one for Buckley. Oh, dear.
Like that, Sandy, as I just said.
Yes.
I wonder, Hawk, what it'd be like if they ever opened the roof.
It is open, fish, I think.
Good on you, Dougie.
Oh, dear. Never a dull moment. This is Carr for Fremantle. Kicks the ball towards the wing. Collingwood players at the back of the pack. Buckley caught, but got the hand pass away. Freeborn a chance. Quickly to Lacuria. In turn, he missed Lockyer, and Lockyer missed Lacuria. Kicked forward by Hazelby. In towards the forward 50 for Fremantle. Now, an opportunity for the Dockers. Modra, Pavlich, Mark Richardson. In comes McManus. Prestigiacomo shrugs the tackle, the intended tackle from Pavlich. Damien Drum would be looking for a better effort there from Matthew Pavlich, I'm sure. Took back there around the middle of the ground. Now there's a chance for Fremantle. He gets the ball over now to Matthew Carr. And the kick in towards half forward. It's mopped up by McKee. He seems to be growing in stature with every game he plays with the Magpies. Now Loney. Loney's kick good. Well done, young fella. He's had a couple of chances previous to this, but he's put this onto the chest of Holland. And Holland will shoot from about 40 metres directly in front. Former Docker, of course, Brodie Holland, coming into the side this week at the expense of Anthony Rocker. The much publicised change from the Magpies selection committee on Thursday night. Brodie Holland. Lovely kick. Goal umpire doesn't move. Second one for the Maggies.
Well, you've got to like that. Young Loney coming down there through midfield. He had time and space to use it well, but it was a great strike of the ball and a wonderful lead there by Brodie Holland. So it's a great finish. So just looking at it coming through now, he's got the ball, he's got time, he turns on his left. And a good hit there. Bandy, well, just took his eye off the ball at the last second, I suppose, and didn't make contact and could have spelled it. But a great finish and a great goal.
Dion Woods is having a spell on the bench, and Ben Cunningham, who was a late inclusion for Stephen Coops, is on the ground there wearing 38. Good start, though, by Collingwood, with a couple of early goals. Trying to force his way through was Steinfort, not successful. Fletcher in there, working hard is Freeborn as well. Lockyer out towards Buckley. Gee, he's picking up possessions at will. What's changed? O'Bree's hand pass over the top. Loney too has made an excellent start. Collingwood go up towards the half-forward line, but he wouldn't be happy with that kick. Not happy at all. Banny turns it up towards Pavlich. Can't quite pick it up on the half volley. Built very, very solidly. He gives it away to McManus. McManus goes inside 50 in search of Modra. Modra was caught a little too far underneath the ball. Now he makes pace and he goes towards the line. Can't keep it in play. And we've got a throw in the left forward pocket.
There's just an air of anticipation when the ball hits the ground around Tony Modra, isn't there? We've seen him so many times in the past kick some miraculous goals in those situations. But Dockers already, the game style is to go a bit longer tonight. They're looking for their tall forwards in Pavlich and Modra. So let's see how it pans out for them.
Just the one behind at the moment. What a perfect step, however, by Longmuir. Now they're on the board. Troy Longmuir taking it out of the air. Or was it Justin Longmuir? Justin. Troy was his uncle.
Brothers Longmuir.
Great goal nonetheless, though, Sandy. They're always very clever, those snaps out of the ruck. Very hard to do. It takes a fair amount of talent and ability to have that presence of mind when you take possession, to be able to turn, put on the boot like that. So a good sign by the young blokes.
It was a very confident Justin Longmuir. There's our old mate there, Ross Glendenning, in the foreground, Sandy.
Chairman of selectors, yes, and good to see Roscoe.
Dean Laidley, Robert Pyman assisting Michael Malthouse in the coach's box for the Magpies. Another excellent bounce. McKee just keeps his feet on the ground. Up over the top was Longmuir. The umpires saw that as an infringement. Kick forward by Steinfort. No mark at full forward for the Magpies. Down goes Holland. Chance for the Dockers to get clear. Carr, neat little left foot kick out in the direction of Bootsma. Drops the mark, but he had plenty of time to recover, and then kicks to a one-on-one, which was Fletcher and Freeborn. Fletcher got rid of Freeborn. The bounce favours the latter, and then Fletcher goes in short. That kick, not all that good there for the Dockers in towards their full forward area, but Pavlich mops up beautifully. The Dockers have got their second. Don't worry about the Fremantle Dockers. Matthew Pavlich gets his first goal, and a delighted Matthew Pavlich. A goal each to Longmuir and Pavlich, and scores a level.
It's not a bad kick when you stand and deliver from about 45 out. Here we see the ball come in. Wakeland, good gather at his toes, but a very, very good tackle there by Shell. And young Pavlich, we were waiting for him to turn the game on its ear. And it's early, but this kid's got plenty of talent. And, well, we're looking forward to bigger and better things from this young man.
Two quick goals to Justin Longmuir and Matthew Pavlich, and all of a sudden the Dockers right back in this. Back in the middle once again with Longmuir and McKee. Buckley out of the middle, gives the hand pass away. Quickly it was towards Kinnear. Another one, and he goes high up towards the 50. Malloy's had a couple of grabs down there at the moment, but he hasn't been able to hold anything at the moment. But early days yet, he had a good start last week. Smashing his way through with Steinfort. Slapped it back towards the half-forward line. Picked up by Bootsma. Gives it away to Bandy. Gets a hurried kick towards the centre of the ground. Could almost been some holding on there on Cunningham. Wanted the free kick, didn't get it. Licuria goes to ground. And umpire John Harvey, wearing 25, comes in for a bounce.
Well, what do you say about that? There's probably something there, but moving right along. It's a pretty frantic pace this game is setting, isn't it? We anticipated it. There's a lot on the line for these clubs.
I can't believe that he didn't get a free kick there. He never had control of the ball, grabbed by the arm and pulled out of the contest.
Still in the middle. Don't worry about it, Robbo. Cook's tackle.
Only the second week we're not allowed into umpire bashing just yet, are we, Sam?
No,
when are you allowed? What is the golden rule?
When the rains come.
Oh, okay.
And we don't know when that'll be.
There's our mate Johnny Harvey about to officiate at this bounce. Scores level, and the ruck work. McKee gets it down. Bootsma, who was such a good player against Carlton last week. Awkward bouncing ball, stands on its end. Oh, McManus was a little too severe there. His tackle was quite ferocious in the finish, and it's Scotty Burns who'll take the free kick for the Magpies. Watch this, gathers, and then McManus a little too ferocious. Kick goes wide towards Bandy, taken away by Fraser. Ducks his head on the Fletcher tackle. Ball over for a throw-in.
Yeah, we spoke about a little bit earlier about the Dockers game style tonight. Seems to be longer. There we go, enjoying your footy, young man.
What about the lolly?
I wouldn't mind a spare one. But they can't go forward long and willy-nilly. They've really got to spot their forwards up and give them a chance.
Well, a real struggle to get the ball clear here. Freeborn, now Rintoul, taken to the ground. That wasn't a bad tackle there by Antony, is it? What'd you say? Anthony Grover.
That's it.
Looks a rugged type, doesn't he, for Fremantle?
Is that, you're saying he's got a rough head, or he looks a rugged type?
He looks a rugged type, Paul. Leave me out of that one. Thank you very much. On the logo, the Carlton Draft logo here at Colonial, And McKee, Buckley, Matthew Carr over the top. And eventually the umpire will bounce once again.
It's not pretty footy, but it's important footy for these two sides. I mean, they're marking their territory a bit early in this game. The scores are level pegging, so it's a bit of an arm wrestle. We'll just see what comes out of it. The next 5 minutes can sometimes set a game up for a club.
Yes, Collingwood threatened, didn't they, early with a couple of quick goals, but the Dockers, to their credit, have bounced back. O'Brien in the thick of things once again, beautifully tackled. The Freeborn hand pass is going to be okay. That was towards Lockyer. A high ball down towards the half-forward line. Cut off once more, though. Dockers' defence working pretty solidly at the moment.
Jones will get a
level,
kick out of this.
if you've just joined us. 13 points apiece, nothing in it. Up towards half-forward, Loney waits down. At the back was McManus, supplied a tackle on Burns. Maybe he didn't have the footy. It matters not. The Pies will get away with it once more. They come towards the centre. It's going to be okay. The kick coming from the new look, Carl Steinfort. Now suddenly through Richardson. They're up to the half-forward line. Chopped off once again, however. Good strong mark taken by Lee Brown.
Geez, I like this kid. He just reads the ball so well into the defence, and he's on a great player in Tarrant. It's a good contest between two of the young guns in the competition.
Well, there's a few of those, aren't there, around the ground. We've got Josh Fraser and Steve McKee up against young Longmuir at centre bounces. So, well, we're always looking for young fellas to come through. Anthony Jones, a very reliable player for the Fremantle Dockers. He's on centre wing. He kicks the ball in towards the right forward pocket region. Buckley gathers, got the handball away to Burns. He was frustrated out of it there by Cook, who just kept trying to push it forward for Fremantle and couldn't quite control the footy. See their scores level. There's the ex-West Coast Eagles player Daniel Metropolis, very skillful. I think he kicked 3 goals with his first 3 kicks in in the senior AFL ranks. McManus, long kick to the square. This puts some pressure on the opposition. If there's anyone there at ground level, there wasn't. The Collingwood defence through Simon Prestigiacomo has forced it through for a rush behind a Fremantle.
Well, percentages say that if you kick it long enough and hard enough and often enough to the hot spot, you'll get lucky. But at the moment, it just seems to be a bit indiscriminate, and you know, they'll pay a price for that. In fact, coming out of one round of footy, Fremantle was second in the competition in long kicks last week. So they are trying a new style. Look at that.
Sensational grab by Sean McManus. Now his kick only seconds ago was penetrating into the forward line.
It's a good grab.
So let's see what he can do. He's got leadership responsibilities this year at the club. And it looks as though he's taken it with both hands. Speaking of taking it with both hands, Daniel Schell has done exactly that with this ball. A long way out. Let's see what he can do. He's going to be kicking from 55. Looks as though he fancies his chances. Fremantle has kicked the last 2 goals.
This is a terrific build-up here where we can see exactly what is confronting the young fella.
55 out, flat-looking helicopter punt kick. Big pack of players. And now the whistle had sounded. There'd been a whistle. It's a Collingwood free kick for a push. There'll be no score. It's gone against Tony Mott.
When do you think you adjust your game? Because Tony, we're talking earlier, likes to go for the fly, but obviously using some leverage there. Do you get a point in your football life where you maybe say, I can't do that all the time?
Well, that's a fair point because he's not a young man anymore, is he, Tony Modra?
Yeah.
Kick out wide, Hazelby, Lucuria, doing a wonderful job, Paul Lucuria. Gee, those hands were sensational.
Here's a go.
Now, it's Schell once again. I think it is Schell, is it? Longmuir, was it, having a flying shot at goal and missed everything. Out of bounds on the full, so the free kick to Prestigiacomo in the left back pocket for the Magpies.
And Robbo, as those trivia buffs you're talking about, age Collingwood, the only side in the competition without a player over 30 years of age.
Well,
keep those coming.
Oh, yes. Longmuir's short kick.
Speechless.
Chance here for McManus. He nearly kicked a goal from that pocket a moment ago. Shot at goal, just across the face. And forced through for another behind to the Dockers. They're 2 goals, 3-15. They lead by 2 points. Collingwood 2-1-13.
I tell you what, Fish, it's good for the Dockers to be kicking the ball long, but you're still got to use the footy. You've got to kick it to advantage.
Quite right, Hawk.
Scotty Burns is leaving the ground, and he looks as though he could be have a problem or two. Doug, I'll get you to check that out. So Burns is off, and coming onto the ground is Ben Johnson, wearing the great number 26 jumper of Gavin Brown. Here's a steal in the middle of the ground. Opportunity now for the Magpies through Rintoul. He's already kicked one. He goes for home. Advances it through. Chad Rintoul has got 2.
take a look at this. Grover did everything right for Bandy, and Bandy let him down. And all of a sudden, the ball spilt from the marking contest, and I think it was Grover's opponent that eventually got it and kicked the goal.
It's amazing how that often works like that, Robbo. Here we see it, as you say, Bandy took a look, wasn't there, front and square. Look, it was a good effort, and there he is, Chad Rontul running through. You're quite right. Well, you just got to be able to control that a little bit better, bring it to the front. Can't let it spill out to the sides or the back. You're in trouble.
Well, you mentioned Scotty Burns coming off the ground, Sandy, and well, that's a bad sign, isn't it? Because I think Scotty Burns would be out there if he was cherry ripe. So maybe a little problem or two there. Buckley to get the ball away towards the half-forward area. Chance here now for Grover. Kicks it back towards left half-forward. Opportunity now for the Dockers. Pavlich, close to the boundary line. Freeborn, still Pavlich. Fletcher, Pavlich. Get a goal. No, he'll kick it out of bounds at the full. Well, that's disappointing, isn't it? Because today's crop of AFL footballers, when you get into that situation, you probably should make a little bit more of it, Paul.
Well, you would. And twice we've seen with forward 50 thrust, Shell's been on his own in the corridor. They're not looking inside. They're having a ping. And look, you've just got to nail something out of that contest. You're right. You expect more from that situation. But look, at least he's getting the ball and he's having a go.
McKee gives it away quickly to Lockyer. Oh, interesting. And could prove a costly turnover. The hand pass from Bootsma finds Carr. Carr well inside 50 once again. Here's the fly from behind.
See, that was a good grab.
Daniel Shell.
This kid's been champing at the bit over in the shadows tonight.
To take a specky?
Yeah, well, I think he has. And good luck to him. This is a great pair of hands here.
I tell you what, boys, I'm sorry, Fish. Scotty Burns has gone up the race into the rooms. He looked fairly distressed, matter of fact.
He copped a couple of knees in that little incident there. Young Daniel Shell, and he's coming off from the blood rule. Now, who takes the kick?
Well, holding the ball is Peter Bell.
We'll give it to Hazelby. Was he anywhere near it?
No, he wasn't.
I tell you, they're all rushing for it, though.
Yeah,
Don't worry
exactly.
about that. You know every player on your side that's going to be nearby if that happens. So.
Bell's going to take it. So Shell off for the blood rules. Exciting young player coming from Central Districts. They won their first flag last year. He shoots towards goal and Peter Bell puts it through. So goal for goal all of a sudden here at Colonial. Just 2 points in it with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Well, it's been a fairly entertaining first quarter, you know. These two sides, we expected a close contest. We haven't been let down. You see the ball on the replay there come forward now. The handball off was a dish off to Kinnear. He wasn't even interested in it, but there's Shell with a big fly from behind. Had a good run at it. And Prestigier came of course, is Modra's man. So there were a couple of loose flies. There, oh, with a kneecap to the chops. That would sting.
Inside 50, Sandy, in the first term. The Dockers have been in 14 times to 9.
Free kicks interesting too. 7-1. As we go back to the middle once again. Well, McKee weighted down and suddenly found himself with the foot. He gives it across to Buckley. It's a high ball inside 50. Only 4 minutes remaining. Flying was Carr. He's had a good first quarter. Picked up 5 possessions. Comes back towards the middle once again. Hazelby had it. Lost it to McKee. McKee again. Thrusting forward towards Malloy and co. Here is the D9. Shoots towards goal and slams it into the post. In fact, looking at him, he could well be a D6. He's had a good summer, trimmed down. He's not quite the dozer he was last year.
Buckley, 11 possessions for the quarter.
Right, first quarter by Bucks, but he'll get into the game, Robbo.
5-4 is 44 for the game. Can that keep going?
Unbelievable.
Give him a chance, will you, Robbo?
A point the difference. And 3.5 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Well
Hazelby tried to get a flyer, but in front of him was his teammate in Justin Longmuir. Kicked a goal early in the quarter. Longmuir looking towards the centre, just going short to Parker. Carr calling for it wide. He elects to go long, straight down the middle. Now Modra's his target. Can't get a run at it, but almost scooped it with the one hand. Just trying to scoop it forward. Wakeland at the back on the last line of defence. Chip short and finds Fraser.
Josh Fraser with the football, kicks it towards half forward. Contest there, Tarrant. And Longmuir in his endeavours to spoil Tarrant has given away the free kick. So the Collingwood player, Chris Tarrant, to kick it forward.
Just really got to take the arms there, Robbo. Just a technical problem there for the young fella.
Now, 2 out of 10, Chris.
Which one of us wrapped him up earlier, Robbo, for his
well, I think that's not normal for Chris Tarrant. Maybe, well, he perhaps didn't concentrate quite nearly as well as he could have. And you could see he was very disappointed, thumping the turf with his fist.
Shane Wakeland also on the sidelines.
Here's a chance for Josh Fraser. You're going to get run down though, Josh. Bootsma, Bell, Fletcher. Now there's a chance for Carr. Kicks out wide towards right half forward. Love that bloke there, Johnson. Started on the bench. Lacuria in trouble. Loney. Backy will go to Johnson. Johnson's little right footer, not too bad. Steinfort with time to steady. Kick it forward. Mark taken by Holland. Holland short. That's a free kick if it's not a mark. He was dumped unceremoniously. It's Heath Black.
Jared Malloy will always let you know about it, but the Dockers long, but not controlling it into their forward half yet, Sandy.
Black playing his 50th game, gives it across to Fletcher. Fletcher looks down towards Pavlich on left half forward. Inside 2 minutes, Pavlich with Richardson on the mark. Again heads towards Modric, tries to get rid of his opponent. And in so doing...
You know, when you mentioned before about vision, centering it, Bootsman nearly provided an alternate target there, running to the left inside the forward 50, and he was ignored. Instead, he kicked it to the contest between Modra and his opponent.
Here's Buckley with yet another possession. This is number 12. Freeborn is making plenty of ground, but McManus is closing in on him. He gets his kick up towards half forward once again. A big pack of players develop. Smashed back towards the centre. Still time for the Dockers if they're good enough. Jones gets a high ball up towards half forward. Buckley the flyer. Up, down he comes. Needs help at the back of the pack. Gets it through Lacuria. It comes away now. They've got an opportunity through Davis. Davis looks towards half forward. Seconds ticking away. Inside 50. The fly will come from Tarrant at the back. A little too late, however.
Oh, don't worry, Sandy. The boy in front did a good job.
Lee Brown. He's been very good, Lee Brown. Had a good first quarter.
Kick forward where Bell is marked to Fletcher. Fletcher just trying to find someone to give it to in a better position, further up the field. Bell provided that target and then kicked it high, but a terrific mark taken by Mark Richardson from behind a pack of 2 or 3 players. And they included McKee and Pavlich, as you see on screen. Nick Davis, who started on the bench, kicks the ball forward. Chipping in for Fremantle was Black. Ball spills back to Holland. Holland will make Fremantle pay, won't he? No, he won't. He'll miss off to the left. The handball was on. You saw Jared Malloy loitering there somewhere looking for the hand pass, maybe, Sandy.
And Malloy actually gave him the ball, gave him the opportunity, but he was unable to convert.
Well, you get a rush of blood every now and then, and Collingwood's movement of the ball line's been pretty good, but they're just not, doesn't appear to be working out enough just to clear the space in front of Malloy at the moment. So give him a good run at it to make something happen.
Well, it's probably rather fair that scores could be level at quarter time. Buckley will be a fly. Over the top he goes again. Can't take it, but what a quarter of footy he's played. Parker comes out the back door. He goes again. Keeps the ball in play. Has to go back on it. Squats on it. Lays an egg. Could be ping. Out it comes towards Lockyer. Lockyer off to Fraser and then to Buckley. But the siren sounds. And I don't think that last stat will count for Nathan Buckley. But what a quarter he has had. 7 kicks, 5 hand passes and 1 mark, and he's tried to take a couple of speckies. McManus just having a chat with the umpire there. He was very disappointed to lose the ball in a free kick situation very early on in the quarter. He was absolutely furious. And so perhaps just trying to clarify the situation. But it is quarter time. Modra still yet to score. Malloy also. It's chat time, isn't it, as far as the men in white are concerned? Quarter time here at Colonial. Scores are dead level. 3-3 apiece.
On screen, but very impressive talent. Good hands, very composed and very poised over the ball. So
nice slick handball by Hazelby in that passage of play too, wasn't it?
So let's see what happens as we're about to start the second quarter. 4 points up for grabs. And it'll be 4 points for the first time in the season for one of these sides. Absolutely crucial. Out of the middle. Well, it's Freeborn who locks it up. And he's got the assistance of Carl Steinfort. No one going anywhere.
Centre clearances are critical, Sandy. And we've said it before, but both sides are so hard at just at the minute. But there's not much breathing space out there.
Fletcher tried to storm through. Cook also. O'Brien gives it to Buckley. Possession number 13 as Buckley goes up towards the half-forward line. Kinnear was a target. Oh, here's an opportunity for Fraser. Great start for the second quarter by Big John.
Well, it is a great start. The Magpie boys getting over to him and patting the back. Now, being concerned about the situation with a matchup. Not that it's a bad matchup. Bandy on Fraser's a good matchup, but you've got to respect Bandy. He gets to the contest, he backs himself in, as you see him there, but he's let Fraser out the back door a few times. Now, Fraser in the first quarter had probably at least 2 or 3 more opportunities if there was a turnover to make Bandy look pretty silly. Bit of respect for Bandy, but you know, good effort, good finish by Fraser. And young Kinnear there, he's coming to the side tonight for Rocker, and he's holding up his end of the bargain so far. He's really been hard at it and creating some space.
Just talking possessions, Robbo, O'Brien's been very busy too with 10 in the first quarter.
Yes, very industrious Shane O'Brien. The kick forward for the Maggies has been marked by McManus. Oh, he threw it away. His left arm was pinned. Now the advantage is with the Magpies. Buckley's kick, beautiful. Oh, you would lap your chops there, beautiful. You'd see Buckley with the ball, and you're on a lead, and you've got 2 metres on your opponent.
Celebrate.
You just say, see you later, folks, this ball's mine.
Celebrate, I think is the word.
Oh, he is just...
He's great to watch, isn't he, Robbo?
If he kicks poorly, Paul,
Yeah.
it's because he gets too many kicks, and not every one of them are going to be perfect, are
Oh, he
they?
can get lazy, but that is a great finish. As we see Malloy come in, he won't... I was about to say he won't mess it up, but he did.
Well, he's kicked that out of bounds on the full. Now, that might be an indication of what Doug was talking about with the swirly breeze. This is Carr for the Fremantle Dockers, kicking the ball out of the wing. Watch, look at O'Brien. He is tenacious. Set that up for Buckley. Johnson, Buckley, combination, beautiful. And Buckley's kick into the full forward area. No mark taken. Ball spills to the boundary line. Malloy. Oh, just a little bit further to the right, Jared, and you just might have been able to manufacture a great goal there, but goes lamenting he's kicked it behind.
Well, there's 1 or 2 blokes on every side you know are capable of possibly the impossible. Looking at Buckley here, go to the ball, a clean give. Blokes who are high possession winners, are there any better at the old 1-2, Robbo? I wonder, but Buckley very clean there.
Tremendous.
Crowd an opportunity. Another one.
To bring the ball back into play. Young Heath. Penetrating kick to the outer side. No one at home, however. Davis.
There's a little article in this weekend's record about his father, Craig. Played with 4 AFL clubs.
Sorry, Robbo, for interrupting, because, oh, look at that! Off the ground goes Freeborn, and Glenn has kicked the goal. A miraculous goal.
Yeah, there's a bit of a discussion about these sort of goals, Robbo. I mean, we're seeing them more and more nowadays in football.
What are you saying?
It's on, isn't it? Do you think? It's got to be on, doesn't it?
It's got to be on.
If you go down to pick the ball up, you could be tackled and you don't even get any semblance of a chance.
Yeah, where players have got better in modern football is decision-making in the clinches, because they haven't got time and space. So they do what comes natural and instinctive, and I think that creates some exciting football at times.
Oh, my
Great
word,
goal.
that was terrific.
Fremantle bench is Glenn Freeborn. Very excited about his first goal for this match. And all of a sudden, Collingwood, with 2 early goals, doing what they did in the first quarter. Longmuir takes it out of the centre square towards Hazelby. Had a pretty good first quarter, an interesting duel. This is Davis again. In fact, got it across to Lucuria. Lucuria kicks to the half back line, but it's going to be chopped off. Bootsma in towards the 50. They need a steadying goal now. Shell was at the back and he did well, tried to get it out. They'll go again through Cunningham in towards full forward, but chopped off once more. And once it's Lucuria who comes wide towards Fraser. Fraser's going to be under the pump here, taken towards the line, but escapes the tackle of Bandy. Doesn't kick over the big man, however. McKee, the hand pass somewhat blind. Kept in play for the Dockers towards Cook. Under pressure, he loses the hand pass shot out from Steinford. Real arm wrestle going on here at the moment. Back to Steinford again. Kicks up towards left half forward. Over the top it goes of Jones. Now an opportunity for Collingwood through Tarrant. It's a high ball, a centering ball. They need a mark. They've got a mark. Sensational play. And Freeborn, who's just kicked 1 miraculous goal, will now go back from directly in front and just 35 metres out.
Now that's what Chris Tarrant can do, Paul. And the discipline kick to the front of the goals.
Well, it was a discipline kick right to the danger spot there for Fremantle, and a great grab. That was just well timed and good hands.
And he finishes off his second goal.
You know what's been pretty impressed about the Collingwood so far tonight? Over the Dockers, there's been this control of the ball into their forward half. The Dockers have been better, kicking longer. They're quick, as we see the replay. Tarrant, good poise, looks back to the centre of the corridor, where even if the spill's free, you're going to get blokes front and square to the contest. And it's a good grab. But it's not always about speed and distance. It's got to be control. And that's where Collingwood just got it over the Dockers at the minute.
So the coaching staff for the Fremantle Dockers, a worried lot, one would think. First 3 goals of the first term to Collingwood. First 3 goals of the second term to the Magpies. They'll go forward again. Mintoul into the pocket. Tarrant in front of Brown. He's marked 50 metres from goal. Fraser back in the goal square.
We'll probably have a shot here, Chris. It's a good kick. Not without a chance from about 53 out.
Well, we'll soon see, because Tarrant has let fly with a bomb. An absolute bomb, a goal.
Wow. That's just a great goal. And it's great to have guys in your team you can back in from outside 50. There's not a lot of them. There's possibly a handful on each side if you're lucky. But this guy, we know he's got all the talent in the world. This Kinnear doing a great job for Magpies so far tonight. And that's where he's been useful. Just hard at the ball, first at the ball. And a great finish. Now, the Dockers, to say the least, are in a bit of trouble here because they need to stem the flow a little bit. It's a centre clearance here, wouldn't hurt them in the slightest, nor would a goal to answer that one.
4 straight goals to Collingwood. And they're threatening to really blow this apart.
Sandy, second quarter possessions already 25 to Collingwood, 8 to the Dockers.
Out of the middle, so important. That's where Buckley and O'Brien have been outstanding. This time it's O'Brien down towards Fraser. He gets a kind bounce, the big man. Needs someone going past. Wintoul gets a call from Buckley. Possession number 206 down towards the forward line, but chopped off by Bell.
Could go to Bandy on the defensive
Elects to go to
side
Carr.
of the ground.
He's had a pretty good game so far, Matthew Carr, the former Saint.
Well, you don't need this where it's just been held up for the Dockers, but there's only one option, that's long down the wing.
Carr's kick. McKee, McManus over the top of McKee. Couldn't take it. McManus will go again. Cook is in there as well. McManus towards the line. Davis taken over.
In that situation, all the movement's gone from behind the player with the possession of the ball. So you're left with little option but to form a flood down the wing and this neutral situation.
Throw in again. No one able to get clear. Hazelby, McManus, Cook all there for the Dockers.
I'll tell you what, Fish, where the Dockers have dropped off is in the midfield. They're getting absolutely slaughtered in that area. And I think you said it's so important to get the ball out of the centre. That's where they've been let down so far in the second term.
7 goals, 4 to 3-3. The Dockers have not added from their quarter-time score. McKee trying to palm down with the one hand. He was looking towards Paul Licuria. Fletcher has a run here. He's 55 out, chip short. That's better to Motra. That's better.
I think Sandy and Paul, what you've got to watch here is Fletcher make the run of the ball. He didn't wait for the ball to bounce to him. He just kept running, didn't lose his stride, gathered. Fortunately for him, the ball bounced back to him, but he was determined to make the run of the ball. Well,
you make your own luck in football. We all know that. And his approach at the ball there was exemplary. And that's an example to the other guys what they've got to start to do, not to hesitate. And just to reinforce what Dougie just said about the centre clearances, it's 9-1 Collingwood's way.
Modric for goal number 567, and he's got it.
Well, Tony will be pretty happy with that. He worked very hard for his 5 goals last week in the game against Carlton, and he's going to have to work hard for them tonight the way the Dockers are bringing it in. But as you're saying here, that off the ground, force it forward, meet the ball, as Robbo said. Fletcher very clean on both sides of his body, and a great pass. And
Paul, if you give him the chances, I mean, he's going to kick the goals for you, isn't he? He's still a quality player, Tony Modra.
Absolutely no doubt about that. A gun.
Well, they did go in a little bit more systematically then, didn't they, with Fletcher delivering the ball beautifully for Modra to get the goal. Cook dispossessed. Buckley gets past Cook, and then with the left foot, just hacks it out of the congested area. Johnson tackled. The tackler was Cunningham. Ball spills back to Fraser. Fraser handball to Curia. Inboard, O'Brien can't get clear, but can get the hand pass away to Freeborn. Freeborn gets past and then delivers. Long, direct, a high ball. Can someone take a specky? They're all looking for the mark of the day, aren't they, down there on the respective forward lines. Buckley back to McKee. Already Buckley now up to 18 possessions. The ball right up on the full forward line. Malloy and Bandy. In goes Brown. Gathered by Brodie Holland. He's just missed to the left.
Well, look, the Collingwood is putting all the pressure on Fremantle. They're in damage control at the moment. They've got a man up. They've got to find their opponent. They've got to shut things down a little bit just for a few minutes to see if they can re-establish something. There's only a few goals in it, so there's by no means out of it. It's just a nip and tuck sort of game, but Collingwood have just got the flow of play a little bit at the moment.
Bell and Fletcher combine with Parker. He tucks it under his arm and away he goes. Bouncing his way over the centre, up towards half forward. Richardson should chop this off and does.
Well, Pavlich needed to get back a bit harder then.
Freeborn's been busy. Eighth possession is wide and perhaps a little bit wasted because Ben Kinnear can't get there in time.
Are you critical of a forward who allows the clean mark like Mark Richardson took, or was
Well,
he just
right.
out of place, Matthew Pavlich, to the extent that he couldn't get back?
Look, he went a bit early on the lead. Look, sometimes that's a bit of impatience from a young player, a little bit overzealous in the lead up the ground, and it was just read better by Richardson. But you'd like to see him make some physical contact for sure.
Ben Johnson taken high, and he's got the ball on the outer wing here at Kelowna. Collingwood into attack.
Kick.
Buckley again.
Beautiful kick.
Now he can play on here. He's 55 out. He just spears it in once more. Perhaps that time a little too low for Holland, but it doesn't matter. The D6 is there. Can't capitalise. 3
behind Sandy to Jared Malloy.
I'm a little bit stunned myself that Buckley's just clocked up his 20th touch, and we're only, midway through the second?
12 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
I tell you what, Fisher, Shane Parker had the job in the first quarter. Looks like Matthew Carr's trying to run with Nathan Buckley. You've got to play a lot closer, young Carr.
Well, Doug, what do you do? Do you have to concede that Nathan Buckley's going to get 1 million possessions and then hope to win the game still?
I reckon you just got to play a bit tighter, Robbo. I mean, he's giving too much room.
Yep.
Play close.
Well, they've got the ball all the way to the middle of the ground. Fletcher's been well tackled from behind. Hazelby and McKee. Hazelby can't get into the game. He's had just 4 possessions. The Norwich Rising Star, a recipient from last year, wasn't he? Won the Norwich Rising Star, Paul Hazelby.
It certainly was. He's a talented player. He's got Lucuria on him tonight, and following on from his pretty good form last week, Paul Lucuria. And obviously got a role to play for the Magpies this year as a stopper.
Longmuir. Steinfort on Cook. And the ball locked up. That's Paul Lucuria at the bottom of the pack. Dimatina, Wakeland, Jukovic on the boundary line there for the Magpies.
Doug is right. They need Cook, Hazelby, Bell to be getting more of it and be more penetrating through the midfield and make a world of difference to the Dockers.
Oh, Bree, was that a hand pass? Obviously, yes. Freeborn. By gee, it was slick and quick, wasn't it? Out wide. Fraser is marked away from Bandy. 48 plays, 27. Just under 11 minutes left in the second term. Collingwood have the advantage. 7-6 to 4-3. Chance for Brown. Fletcher working industriously. Ball spills for O'Brien. Leaves it for Buckley. Buckley across his left shoulder. Gets good distance, but the ball floating as it went through the air over for on the full for a free kick to Fremantle in their left back pocket to be taken by Anthony Jones.
Tarrant did well, and he had to beat a couple to keep that ball in play and did so. Jones short to Bell. Thinks about transferring play from one side of the ground to the other.
Just not enough movement from the Dockers. They need to create something further downfield. Well, she forced him to go into a hot spot like that, and the turnover is always a chance, but a good clearance.
Going to be okay. It came from Cunningham down towards centre wing. Cook.
Well done.
Needed support and gets it from Cunningham, who'd run on down. Now he gives it away quickly towards Bootsma, who spears it into Modra. That's better.
Yeah, that's the sort of running we're looking for. It was opened up to the midfield. They took a risk with that kick into the centre corridor, but it came off, and I think you just can't go into your shell, can you, Robbo?
Well, it was Cook that held the ball for, a fleeting extra second or two. and then all of a sudden you've got players running positively forward that he can give the hand pass to, and all of a sudden this fella provides another good lead, and the kick was good.
And it didn't land on his head for a change.
Modra for his second. Metropolis has come onto the ground, and Modra has kicked the goal. 2 goals to Tony Modra, both in this term.
How many career goals has he kicked now?
568.
Try and you can try, but you won't get him, Robbo.
That can duty, you little beauty.
Oh dear. Well, Modra doesn't miss from many from 30 out, that's for sure. And he was true then. It was a great lead, strong lead on the chest. He just held Prestige Como off, and at the right time turned his body and got right behind the ball. So a great goal, great finish by Modra.
Just wrapped that Tony Modra has continued his career in a fashion that he should be quite proud of. A couple of goals in this game, and looming as some sort of a danger for Collingwood up there in the full forward line for the Dockers. Cook, Bootsma, McKee over the top. Tarkin Lockyer is in there as well. Umpire calls for a bounce. 7-6 to 5-3. Collingwood kicked the first 4 goals of this term, answered by Fremantle kicking the last couple, and the margin is 15 points in favour of the Magpies. Steinford in a little bit of trouble, may have an ankle injury.
Yes, he came up from that pack. He was the last one up, and now he's hopping from the ground. We'll get Dougie Hawkins to check that, Doug, but it looks as though it's an ankle problem.
Ooh,
it
yep.
could have happened there. He's rolled, twisted it there. So the Dockers also making a change. It looks as though James Walker's going to get a chance on the ground.
Cunningham it was that came off, Sandy.
Thanks, Robbo. So Cunningham off as the hand pass comes away towards Davis. Came from Johnson, wide towards centre wing, and a good strong mark taken by Rintoul. He opened as if there was no tomorrow, but then went a little quiet. Now he's got it on centre wing. Chad Rintoul. Buckley always a target.
He could go back and kick a goal, couldn't he?
Well, I'd love to see him go with a bomb. Instead, it's the drop punt right into the square. Malloy in front of the pack, couldn't quite take it, and it'll be surrendered by Brantley Bootsma.
You know, if I was going to be game enough to be remotely critical of where Buckley is getting the ball, a little bit out wide, he'll track the ball. He's that good a player. You know, you'll find the ball. They'll look for him.
Boys, Scotty Burns just came past in a tracksuit, so if Steinford can't take any more part in the game, they'll be 2 down the Magpies at this stage.
All right, thank you, Dougie. Cook has it on half-back. 7 3/4 minutes remaining in the half. Thought about Bell, short. He's not getting a lot on offer. And in the end goes laterally to Parker.
Well done, he spotted a player in the middle.
That's good play. Now they've got the opportunity maybe to set something up here for Modra further down, or perhaps come a little wide.
That was Grover.
They decide to go wide, and taking the crumbs is Bell. Goes in towards goal, Peter Bell. And has kicked a behind.
It was a shame. It was a good setup there, long and direct through the midfield, and Shell couldn't quite take the grab, but Bell there's not too many blokes better at getting front and square. Gave himself a chance.
Loney, lovely long kick out towards the wing. Marking contest, Nick Davis gets the ball, but Pavlich tackles from behind, all clear and above board according to the umpire, and he will be forced to bounce right on the sponsor's logo on the far side of the ground. There's Carl Steinford being obviously attended to by the medical staff. It looked as if it could have possibly been obviously a leg injury of some sort, maybe ankle. Now Lucuria, who's playing quite well, approaches the forward 50-metre arc, kicks towards the goal square, just a little short. Walker it is for Fremantle, kicks it close to the boundary line, and it rolls end on end over for a boundary throw in about 75 to 80 metres around from the Collingwood goal.
He's just come on, Robbo. Walker, as we have a look at the Fremantle bench. So throw in. The Collingwood early charge has been halted. Lucuria wobbles one down to the forward line. Bell stands his ground. Clever little play, a little bit of basketball work coming over the top. Fraser got the call from O'Brien. Gives it back towards Lucuria. Chipped short. I don't know whether he got the call from Bootsma or what happened. But Bootsma takes it and he appreciates it. Buckley, chance for another possession. Hazelby there with him. Buckley, too good. Brings it back towards Lockyer.
Do you feel,
in front of Bootsma.
Paul, do you ever feel that maybe the body language of the Dockers indicates that the intensity is not quite up to the scratch of maybe the Collingwood team?
Well, it sometimes can be the case. I mean, the way you carry yourself around the ground can send so many signals and communicate to the opposition that they may just be on top of you. But I must give credit where credit's due. The Dockers could have been blown out of the water, but they've just held firm, held steady, and they're right in this game still.
Lockyer took plenty of time, eventually did get the kick down to
got
the
to hang on to this.
line. Jones
no one to kick to, Sandy.
No, he's got to have a look. He's got a couple of players charging towards him. One is Ben Johnson. Eventually goes over the top towards McManus. Now he can go inboard towards Cook. Cook's almost down to half forward. He's going to have to stop and go back. He's got Pavlich wide.
What about the guts?
Well, the centre actually. We
Carr
prefer to call it. Modra was in the pack. At the back is Hazelby. Can he get clear? No, he can't. Shell is there as well. He's under pressure. Modra and Fletcher also. Did Picky get one in the back? Did he get one round the throat? The umpire says no, and that's Stephen McBurney.
Well, Ryan Loney should feel quite comfortable with this. It could have nearly been a push in the back, but maybe the umpire saw Bell going down before the Collingwood boy arrived.
Oh, maybe so, but I think Loney just got it right there. He just kept the body, the side of the body in front of him. He didn't turn Bell and gave the umpire no cause to give a free kick against him. So clever from the young bloke.
Lockyer trying to storm his way through. Heath Black, playing his 50th game, is held up. Another bounce. So it's a 15-point margin. Wakeland still warming the bench.
How's my 40-odd possession for Buckley going, Sandy, by the end of the game? He's at 23.
You may be even a little modest, because it's 23 at the moment, and we've still got 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Going to get his hands on this too. Look, he's there. He's there. He's loitering, isn't he?
He's never too far away.
He's a genius.
Should we moz him by looking into our stats and seeing what the most amount of possessions ever in a game is?
G. Williams had 44
Something
one
like
day
that,
and kicked
yes.
5 goals for Sydney at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And well, that was for the Blues. He got 44 too and never got a vote in the Brownlow medal. But anyway, Pavlich. McManus over the top, can't break away. Nick Davis gets a handball along the line, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
I got 64 one day, boys, against the Swans back in '83.
Oh, you're out at Braybrook playing in the under-14s.
And you're adding 10 every year, Dougie, aren't you?
Good luck to you too, Doug.
I think Bobby Skilton might have racked up almost 50 in a game.
Look, he was a great player.
One of the greats,
yeah,
Bobby.
no doubt.
But Nathan Buckley is well on his way to a stellar evening. Look at McManus working hard, trying to get it out. And there is Buckley there once again, urging his players on.
I really admire the pluck that Fremantle's shown over the last 10 minutes of this football match. I mean, they've really hardened it up around the contest. They've they've gone back and they're touching and feeling a bit more. And it's just, look, it's impressive. Aside, last year Fremantle just would have said, okay, have your way with this. But this year, there's a subtle difference in the way they're going about their footy.
Well, I think that's the only way to win the match, isn't it? Black's left foot kick is a bit of a mongrel in towards half forward. Modra, on this occasion, beaten for it by Prestigiacomo, comes out towards the middle of the ground. Important possession here. Very well done by Hazelby. Black gets the handball. It was intended there for Metropolis. Taken away by Longmuir. Well done. McManus can go in and get a goal here. Straighten up, get past his opponent, steady, go for goal, 50 metres out, all the way there. Simon Prestigiacomo gets a hand on it, and it's through for a behind to Fremantle.
That's a shame. It was a good setup there. They're dropping a couple of blokes out the back in sweeping roles, the Dockers, so they're benefiting from the turnover there. But unfortunately, McManus just couldn't find another yard there. The game was about to be back neck and neck almost.
Lockyer being given some advice by the ladies at the back. enjoying a quiet one of the footy.
I think she was just yelling, go short, go short.
Isn't that good to see? Davis does. Oh, this could be dangerous. O'Brien under pressure. Could be costly. Clean bowls Prestigiacomo. Back towards O'Brien once again. This time steadies. And Prest is away. Gives the hand pass. Johnson a touch of the fumbles. Well, it's a little messy, but Davis in the end tidies up and he bounces his way out of half-back. Kicks over the centre line, up towards half-forward, but the question is, to whom?
Lee Brown.
Well, one at home for the black and white, that's for sure. Wide to the centre wing area. Longmuir is clear, just goes short. Bell to Norrish. Norrish from a standing start, puts them inside 50. Funny old looking punt kick once again. An easy one spilt. Collingwood will still defend. Johnson almost threw it away. Bell Johnson's going to get a free kick.
That's the incident that I was talking about before. If you just show that little bit more desperation, where Collingwood were trying to clear the ball, Mark Richardson, Johnson, etc., and just a little bit more intensity, they might have kept it alive.
Well,
Yeah, very true, Robbo. Very true.
Taken a fraction high. That's why he was given the free kick. So McKee towards his fellow big man
that's a free
Fraser.
kick against
that
Josh
wasn't very
Fraser.
subtle, Josh. So Metropolis.
That's where Josh, he's a fine player. It's going to be, it could be anything, Josh, but just in the one-on-one still, can get a bit lost on him, but that's all just a matter of time. And he'll work it out.
The kick from Zorba up towards half forward. Richardson, a big run. Veteran now for 120 games. Elects to go short.
Not a bad
Finds
performance.
Freeborn.
Her father and uncle played over 200 games for the Magpies.
Yeah, great family tradition. Speaking of family tradition, Davis picks it up towards Malloy, edging out to Anthony Jones, but in the end running out of room.
He's a master of that, Jared Malloy, isn't he? Just edging his opponent under the ball and giving himself a sniff out the back.
7-7, plays 5-5. Collingwood leading with 5 minutes remaining.
Andrew Jukovic looks as though he's preparing to take his place on the field, and the ball kicked back towards the middle of the ground, taken here by Johnson. Just a bit of an up and under. I don't think that was what he was looking for, and getting back as Walker to take the mark for Fremantle across that half-back line. No one really to kick to, so they do hang on to the footy before they can get it away to someone a little bit better off down the ground. And on that occasion it was Grover who fed Carr in towards the half-forward area. Pavlich, work hard now, work very hard. Get back into the action again, Matthew. Hand pass comes out, and the chance for Lacuria, who's playing quite a good game actually. The ball gathered by Rintoul. Back now to Dimatina. Dimatina's kick along the line, taken over by Parker, not on the full, in front of Josh Fraser, so it will be thrown in by the boundary umpire as Johnson comes off and Jukovic does take his place on the field.
Well, Dimatina possibly could have gone a bit longer to space there over Fraser's head. Trying to spot up there. There's probably one guy on his side that could do it. Buckley.
So the siren has sounded. It's half-time here at Colonial. And Collingwood hold a handy lead. One would have suspected that it could have been more early on when they broke away with 4 quick goals, but to the Fremantle Dockers' internal credit, back they came with 2 goals from Tony Modra. Again, players having a chat with the umpire. That was Matthew Carr of Fremantle, who was over there just having a chat with the umpires. There he is there, Matthew.
Has he been named captain this week, has he?
Yeah, that's
Matthew
interesting.
Carr.
Well, he
He's
must
the only
have, because
person-
he's the one chatting with the umpire now.
Well, he's the only one, isn't he, that can speak to the
I
umpire?
believe so. After the siren's gone, that is the case. But we'll see what comes of that sort of thing. But the Dockers shouldn't be too unhappy with their performance in that quarter. I mean, as I said, they could have been opened up, but they've got to go in, resettle themselves, and look at one bloke in particularly in Nathan Buckley and see, well, what are we going to do to shut him down, Robbo?
Yes, he's been absolutely sensational, Nathan Buckley. Inside the forward 50 just once, midfield 19, in the back 50 a couple, for 23 possessions in half a game of footy.
On target, yes, to pass 40, which would be an outstanding achievement.
I played 3 games to get those, Sandy.
Yes, but your possessions were of absolute quality. It's half-time here at Colonial Stadium.
That might favour them at ground level and maybe exploit a Josh Fraser in that area. So we're interested to see what happens now.
Fletcher also starting on the bench, picked up 11 possessions in the first quarter. So set to go, second half here at Colonial. 14 points is the margin, favouring Collingwood, 7-7 to 5-5. Still anybody's game, so don't worry about that. McKee has to stand his ground as they come over the top. Lacuria gets a short kick, but only as far as it was Bootsma. Bootsma kicks it high to half-forward. He wanted Pavlich. Isn't going to find him initially. Socket off the ground by Hazelby. Down towards full forward. Is this the start they dream of? Yes, it is. Great start. Pavlich gets the goal in the opening 30 seconds.
Well, that is a marvellous start. Just the start the Dockers were looking for. And it came with the centre clearance, which is all critical. Bootsma, who was good last week, stood up early and off the ground by, I think it was Hazelby, which it's just pushing the ball forward and giving the boys every chance, keeping it alive there. We see it off the ground. And Pavlich following up. That's a good effort, good work rate.
Did Modric get a little hand to that, do you think, to knock it back into Pavlich's path?
Oh, we'll pay him it, don't you think?
Oh, gee, he's a very smart player, Tony Modric.
Damien Drum in your picture there, coaching his 46th game, has 13 wins and 32 losses at the moment.
Well, it was just a fillip for the Dockers, I'm sure, to start the third term with the first goal. Now the Magpies from behind the centre circle, Lockyer delivers towards half forward, stretch, good mark to Tarrant. Tarrant can go into the pocket, just puts it up a little high, I would have thought, for Malloy. Getting back was Metropolis, going for the safety of the line, and will force a boundary throw in right forward pocket for Collingwood. 7-7 to 6-5 closes the gap, doesn't it? Now down to 8 points in favour of Collingwood. The Dockers, the first goal of the second half, kicked by Matthew Pavlich. He's kicked a couple. Ruck work. Josh Fraser, Longmuir, gets a boot to it. Kick forward by Holland, it's a goal. Goal to Collingwood, kicked by Brodie. Second goal for Brodie Holland, and a quick answer for the Magpies.
That's a great goal just from a ruck contest. I mean, Longmuir has been impressive, but he grabbed the ball when under pressure, and it's always a difficult and tricky thing to do to try and execute a skill like that. But talking about executing skills, Brodie Holland showed how to kick a goal, clever one around the corner there, and slotted it through. So the quick answer for the Magpies, and well, let's see what the Dockers can do. They haven't been great out of the centre bounce, and they need one here.
2 goals to Holland, 2 to Freeborn, whilst for Fremantle, 2 to Pavlich and 2 to Modra. 2 also to Rintoul for Collingwood, let's not forget that. That one a little too far for Richardson. Socket off the ground by Loney. Out wide, Hazelby led in the race, still going. Ricochets back towards Loney again, he gets slung. Heath Black tried to get the hand pass out towards McManus. McManus heads towards goal. It's a high ball, but it's away to the right and one behind.
A couple of behinds to Sean McManus.
Well, he's just had a couple of shots from tough angles, and you got to question the decision there. I mean, he had time. He probably had time to look inside. Maybe there were no options there. There's a bit of traffic in the corridor, which may have put him off. So he's backed himself in. Hasn't come off this time, but you don't want to stop players from doing that.
Loney towards Lockyer. At the back is Cook. Didn't get the opportunity. Lockyer will go again, however, and he steams away. Through the centre goes Tarkin Lockyer. Has a couple of bounces. Looks towards the half-forward line. Inside 50, and it is a beauty. Could be a costly turnover with the old D9 having the football. He's 50 out, is Jared Malloy.
Gee, if you can get it right on the kick-ins, it's an amazing thing. The ground just opens up like the Red Sea. Did once apparently.
Just the once I think. Here's the kick from Malloy. Nothing red about that kick. It's all black and white. And it's a goal.
First goal for Jared Malloy after kicking 3 behinds.
Well, it was he's a very good kick for goal, and I know he's come off 3 behinds, but there is some pressure involved in those. But the standing shot, Jared's very clean, and it was a good lead. The one prior, just a few minutes prior to that, he led a bit early. This time he led up, led off to his left. He broke to a lateral spread, if you like, and ran to space and gave Lockyer every chance to put it up in front, and he did.
Well, after kicking the first goal, it's been quickly answered by 2 Collingwood goals, and now the margin 19 points. Cook is dispossessed by Buckley. Buckley just trying to force the ball to bounce for him. It eventually did. Got back onto the right, kicked into the pocket. Jones, Malloy looking at the umpire, maybe a little bemusingly, but no free kick. Maybe he thought that he could have been penalised for Jones falling to the ground.
I think he had a case to ask there. There was something in that, but look, under pressure, umpires sometimes give the benefit of the doubt.
Left forward pocket for the Maggies. Josh Fraser. How about this? How about this, Sandy? A screw punt kick by the big bloke. A otherwise known by you fellow South Australians as a check side.
Hey.
What about this?
That is fantastic football. Now you feel like saying, well, man, do it again. Go on, see how you go. But it was a fantastic goal. A great grab out of the ruck. And cop that. That is fantastic. Look, he did everything right there. He gave himself a space to run at the ball. Why there was no one at the front of that contest is a bit bewildering, but he had the space and he's made the most of it. Fantastic finish.
Suddenly Collingwood shootout again.
A Primus one of Collingwood's sponsors?
Pardon?
A Primus one of Collingwood's sponsors.
I think they were. In fact, they still are, yes.
You have a look at Mickey Malthouse next time you see him in the coach's box.
I think you're not being very subtle there. Let's concentrate on the football. You've just seen a mighty goal. O'Brien had it and lost it. Now an opportunity for McManus to give it to Cook. They can get one back here. Cookie goes for goal.
Well done.
And gets it. Didn't miss a game last year. Troy Cook won the club championship award.
Sandy, to say they needed that, Paul, would have been probably the understatement of the match so far.
Oh, I'm sure between now and the end of the game we'll come up with a few more understatements, but that was certainly one of them.
I think the one with the sponsors was fairly good.
It was a good footy.
Boom, as you would say, Ian Robertson.
Troy Cook is the thing that impressed me about the Dockers. They're drifting forward from the contest. Hasleby, Cook, McManus. They're providing the options, which is good to see.
Great goal by Cook, his first. And again, the Dockers attempting to stem the tide. McKee's got to stand his ground and he smashes it, but straight towards Bootsma. Almost runs into McManus. Gets around the corner. Thought about Heath Black. Travelled a little too far. Ricochets back to Black. Off to Fletcher. He's just come onto the ground. Fletcher in towards full forward. 1, 2 grabs. Not enough for Shell. Shell goes again on all fours. Cookie do it again. He bends it back, and McKee is there on the last line of defence.
Here's Steve McKee for the Magpies, kicks it out wide where O'Brien has taken the mark. O'Brien's little left foot kick to a contest between Longmuir and Steinfort. Steinfort did well, but then the hand pass a little too ferocious. But the umpires found a free kick back to Carl Steinfort by the look of it, who may have been interfered with, perhaps after getting rid of the ball. Quickly on to Fraser, who kicked a magnificent goal just a few moments ago from taking the ball out of a boundary throw-in. Kicks the ball towards the half-forward area. Gathered here by Malloy. In towards the centre-half forward position proper. Davis. Can he get past? Goes back out wide. Buckley will get a goal, won't he? If he can find some space, then he kicks the ball in towards Malloy, and Malloy is marked.
Well, that was a good finish in the end, but someone in the Dockers outfit was a little bit lazy there because Longmuir had pushed over to Steinfort earlier. As we see the replay here, Buckley in traffic. Great poise, we know that we'd now expected of him, but certainly great poise and a great finish. Someone got a little lazy because Fraser found space there, was able to push it forward, and here's the consequence.
Well, it's crunch time for Fremantle. Malloy just lets them off ever so slightly by missing. 1 goal 4 now to Jared Malloy, and it could quite easily have been, well, at least 4 goals, possibly even 5 straight. Jones accepts the kick in, goes to McManus. McManus has got Bell running in support, closer to the middle of the ground. His kick finds Cook, well done, in front of his face. Handball off to Bootsma. Bootsma off the left, goes in towards full forward. Shell couldn't take the mark at ground level. Pavlich, get rid of it quickly. He does. Back as far as Bootsma. Bootsma back towards Shell. Shell now. Who can he give it to? He can give it to Cook. Cook's got to get rid of it. You're gone. G-O-R-N. I know you don't spell it like that, but he was absolutely.
I think it might be with a W, Robbo, but
Gone.
Lucky. Gone.
Well, you wonder, I mean, Troy Cook was obviously trying to be a little productive going forward, but caught blatantly. Good mark.
That is a good, that looks like Shell. No, it's not, but it's a good mark by Carr. Matthew Carr started very well. He's had 9 kicks and 4 marks and has the opportunity now of kicking his first goal. Good grab.
Fremantle are impressive when they can open it up through midfield, as most sides are. It's just sometimes their direction into the forward half can be found wanting.
From 47 metres,
beautiful
swinging
kick.
back beautifully, and he's kicked a much-needed goal.
Gee, it's an ebb and flow game, isn't it, Paul?
It is. It's just Collingwood are allowing the Dockers to keep in touch here, and you know, it's just an interesting setup now. It's hard to pick which way the game's going to go. You'd have to say that Collingwood do have the ascendancy in the game, but the Dockers, we spoke about earlier, showing a bit of pluck, and they're not letting go.
Did you have a close look at that? Did you feel as if he controlled that ball down? We saw a replay, and there was a bit of a question mark.
Ross Glendinning with Damien Drum in the Fremantle coach's box as we go back to the centre. Collingwood winning it out of the middle courtesy of Buckley and Lacuria. Up towards a full forward. Malloy is there with strength, can't get it. Jones was there also. Holland gets ripped apart at the bottom of the pack. Back it comes towards Tarrant. It's a high ball, but it's a wide ball. No addition to the score.
The breeze is kicked up down here, boys. It's sort of favouring the Collingwood end, and it appears now that Brad Bootsma may have the third attempt on Nathan Buckley.
19 possessions to Bootsma. He's played pretty well, Doug, even apart from the fact that he's now matching up on Buckley.
Metropolis brings it out to Jones, and he decides to go back to the man in question.
No one to kick to.
Not much on, no.
Nothing for Daniel Metropolis, so he's got to keep on coming. Hit the boundary, Daniel.
Oh.
Well, it was okay because he found the 50-gamer in Heath Black. Black goes back inboard now, just trying to set something up. They've again got the margin back to 14 points. They've had trouble getting any closer.
Gotta go, Bandy.
Bandy over the top. Couldn't take the mark. Davis waits down. Comes wide. An opportunity for Tarrant. Buckley saying, down here, my boy, down here. Buckley dropping back. It's kicked in towards full forward. Smashed away from Buckley and pushed over the line for a throw in.
Is that Anthony Jones that got back there? He's unfashionable, but very, very effective in the defence for the Fremantle Dockers.
Yep, a young man from Claremont originally.
Hayes will be having a spell.
Well, Bandy's going to come to Fraser for this tap out this time. Won't be letting Josh get away with that again.
Oh, here's Malloy. Hurriedly boot to ball. Lockyer in the pocket. Parker there with him. Bell at the back. Boundary line too close.
Well, Freo, they trail by 14 points. Next goal, quite important, I think, as far as the scoreboard is concerned. I'm sure players look up at the scoreboard and, you can see yourself maybe being outplayed, and you're still only, trail by just a couple of goals?
That's right. So the boys has got to kick in. The boys have got to give one other bit of a pep up and say we're still in this and with a big show, so keep going hard at it.
Fletcher's one of those players doing just that. Back to Bell, an experienced campaigner. Little left foot kick is to the advantage of Bandy. Nick Davis at ground level. Rintoul kicks to the square. It's going all the way. It's a mark.
Good grab.
Josh Fraser is marked right on the goal line. This will be interesting to see if the umpire puts him on any sort of a severe angle. And he's got to go back a little bit. But when we saw him kick a goal from the boundary throw-in, he's capable of anything.
Oh, close your eyes, Josh, and follow through. This he just seems to be getting better week by week at the moment.
Yeah.
Josh, his confidence is growing out there. He really looks like he belongs now.
My word.
And he's going places, no doubt about that.
Well, close. Check side. He's put it through. Pretty good return for the ruckman. 3 goals and 12 possessions, 5 marks.
It's a fantastic return. I mean, he should be very pleased with himself so far. The job's not done yet, but certainly he eyes on the ball. Knew there was going to be a hit coming, but strong hands wrapped around the ball there. See it there, right on the goal line. Saw a goal, so I'm sometimes pretty critical of why the umpires take the players around in their angle in these situations. Saw one today where the player was almost lined up straight in front from that same position. But anyway.
3 goals to Josh Fraser. 2 in this quarter. Michael Malthouse and his co-tenants. See Lockyer try to get it out of the middle. Bootsma working hard. Kicks partly smothered. Bootsma threw it out to Norwich. He goes towards half forward. Pavlich copped a bit of a shove, I thought.
I thought Matthew Carr could have just made that a little bit harder and could have nearly jumped over the top of the Collingwood player.
Richardson to Buckley. Had to be accurate and was pinpoint. He's on centre wing.
28 coming up.
28 possessions towards Malloy. Won't keep it in play. Jones right there with him.
Fish, Stephen McKee's been pretty good in the ruck in this quarter for the Magpies, which allowed Josh Fraser to go forward. Your fair call, Fish?
McKee's been tremendous tonight. We haven't given him much of a rap, so thanks for that, Doug. But he's done a very, very good job indeed. So actually, I had him in my early in the game, quite in the best, amongst the best players. So playing a very important role tonight.
Holland working hard, but Jones is there on the last line of defence once again. I think he was trying to find the boundary line. It wasn't to be, but they should get out of trouble. Bell's on the end of the hand pass, pushes in towards half-back. Bandy is there, looks towards the centre of the ground. Richardson got in front, couldn't take the mark, however. Chance now for Johnson to get the hand pass away. Buckley, yet another possession. What's the number, Robbo?
29 coming up.
29, thank you very much. Towards the running McKee. Gets a nice bounce. Oh, good interception.
Got to get a goal here.
Metropolis now kicks to half forward. Now an opportunity for them to set something up through the agency of Matthew Carr. Into half forward, Modra's his man. Cook is there to help him. Pressure on the Collingwood defence. Richardson and co should tidy up. They're pretty miserly all night tonight. And look who suddenly finds himself on this side of the ground. Possession number 30. And a little lazy because it went straight into the man on the mark. Ticked up by Peter Bell. Bell goes into the pocket, but to whom, ladies and gentlemen?
Could have done a little better there, Peter.
No one home.
Just blazed away, didn't he? And
he did, Robbo.
Probably could have held it. Matt perhaps didn't realise he had a little bit of time.
Well, you need some voice, some good instruction around you to tell you you've got time sometimes.
But this is the sort of thing that you've got to be aware of wherever you are on the ground, isn't it? Yeah. You know, that you can still play a part in this game of football, even if you're a long way away from the footy and you're not even in the play. You're maybe not even playing well. You can still do something for your teammates.
Exactly right.
Norrish, now Bell. Bell into the middle. This is important. This is very, very important. Well, it bounced nicely for McManus. Now Bootsma, who's doing well. Oh, awful kick, Brad. Maybe he didn't see anyone further afield to kick it to, and he tried to just manufacture something. Johnson in a spot of bother out there on the far wing, but he's able to recover and then kick it forward. Opportunity now for O'Brien. O'Brien slams it in towards the forward pocket area where Steinfort. We saw him come off the ground in the second quarter with what may have been an ankle injury, may have just turned it, and he's recovered quite nicely. He will kick for Collingwood's 12th goal. Steinfort from about 30 metres. Difficult angle. No difficulty there, Sandy. Goal to the Pies. Steinfort kicks his first, and the Pies go marching on. When Fremantle challenged, Collingwood seemed to have the answers.
Well, a bit of pain there as a result of the turnover at half-back, and Fremantle Dockers had pushed up the ground, allowing a few blokes out the back door, such as O'Brien, to find some space. Credit to Buckley, he got over there and put the pressure on Bootsman to effect a scrubby old kick. And on the turnover, thank you very much, Carl Steinfort says, because my ankle's not so bad after all.
26 points, the margin now. That's what they've been able to get it out to, and if the Dockers do challenge, they get within 14, and that's about it. Buckley picked up another possession in that because he gave it straight across to Lockyer. They've got it down to half forward. The kick coming from Dimatina, and now Tarrant goes long, come out the back door to Malloy. Can he get a boot to it? No, he can't. It's pushed over the line, and it is Jones desperately defending.
Not like a Nathan Buckley update. 12 in the first quarter, 11 in the second, 8 so far in the third.
With still over 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter, so another opportunity to build on that. Thank you, Robbo. McKee at the back, an effective spoiler. Finds the line. He's done well, the young man from Myrtleford.
Well, Daniel Bandy coming up for a bit of a break. He's worked hard this quarter. Young Jocelyn Longmuir coming on, who's been a tremendous performer tonight to this point in time.
Throw in on centre wing. Fraser with the left hand. Lockyer was at the back, an attempted soccer off the ground. Doesn't have too much distance about it. Dimatina threw his body in there. Carr in all sorts of trouble. Dimatina tried to soccer off the ground, so too did Black down towards Cook. They've got it almost at half forward.
Cunningham.
That was clever play by Cunningham. Back towards Cook. He can't handle it, but he's under enormous pressure. Well, they pounce on him like seagulls over a leftover sandwich.
But that's the frenetic efforts by the Magpies in that area just to stymie the forward attempts by the Dockers.
Well, look, it is a great effort, and they're dropping blokes backwards here. Richardson out of off screen at the moment, sweeping back deep, and the Maggies are doing that very well. And as we well know, as Kevin Sheedy's told us, you have to watch for seagulls out here, Sandy.
Most certainly do. Otherwise, you could be a real twerp. 53 metres in towards full forward once again. Richardson gets a smack on the last line of defence. No joy for the Dockers. It looks as though they're making another change.
You know, when you...
Woods coming on, sorry, Robbo, and McManus off.
When you saw that was that guy that you spotted that got back and made it 2-on-1 against Modra.
That's right. Someone's got to drop out of that contest and identify a bloke who's sweeping back on his own and go to him and try and drag him out, or at least make it a 2-on-2 scenario. So
the kick out wide, chance here for Woods, who started on the ground. Chance to get the hand pass away, but not quite that effective. Metropolis would have probably been looking for something a little better than that. In the finish, the Dockers have given away a free kick. It will be Rintoul, the recipient. Rather lazily, Woods is marked. I don't think he intended that to go in that direction, but Woods will kick it back for Fremantle, back towards their half-forward flank area. Punched away, Lucuria. Oh, it got past Metropolis too easily. Lucuria's kick in towards half-forward. Malloy couldn't take the mark. This fellow looks as if he's got a bit of ability. Longmuir, still Longmuir. Does pretty well in the finish, then looks and kicks in the Cook direction. Where are the Crummers? Chance here for Cunningham. He looks as if he's prepared to work hard. Loney, Lucuria. Right foot kick by Lucuria. Goes across the half-back line where Mark Richardson has gathered the ball. Kicks down towards the wing position. And Tarrant made good ground to take the mark. Kicks into the pocket. Dimatina overruns it. Back goes Grover. Good contest between these two players. And Dimatina dragging it in. Umpire will bounce 48 metres from the Collingwood goal. Grover not happy with the Dimatina attention he's receiving. And he's... Picked that one out. And say what you like, Collingwood fans, but Grover takes the free kick. Gets it away to Parker. Parker from half-back.
Kicks in towards the centre. Fletcher, well spoiled. Here's an opportunity now for Collingwood through Rintoul. He kicked the first goal. He goes in towards full forward. Parker is there on the last line of defence, and he's more than happy. He's more than happy.
Now, ball want to get another free?
Can take it over the line.
Well, with around about 5 minutes remaining in the quarter, it's important the Dockers hold Collingwood out because it's a critical stage of the game. And get a goal, at least, before the quarter's finished.
They've just got to stay in touch here. Malloy using his strength, can't keep it in. And must have ricocheted from his boot and gone over the line on the full.
How'd you like to have an argument with Jared Malloy?
I wouldn't. No,
you wouldn't win, would you?
I wouldn't have one with him.
You win, Jared. Yeah. No, you're right.
You just...
Oh, dear me.
Here's Brown.
There is a Santa Claus.
Black. Metropolis started on the bench, chips in. He was looking for Cook, but Rintoul intercepts. Look out! Cook behind was Lucuria. Cook may get another chance. He scoops it out quickly back towards Woods.
Oh, Buckley!
Beautiful smother. Could be a costly turnover. O'Brien to half forward.
Oh, that's
and
it.
Now Tarrant has a chance to win the goal.
Isn't it?
Well, it's not very fair if the guy who can rack up 88 possessions in a game can also do the little things to make a difference. Leading by example is
terrific,
the phrase I'm looking for, Robbo.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
88 is up to
Well, 31 to be exact.
Tarrant, 55 out. Lovely looking kick off the boot, but just slightly away to the right, going for that little bit of extra distance.
Well, we saw him kick one from outside 50 early in the game, so well justified to have another shot at it.
Oh, look at that.
Just missed. What's that?
That's Jared Malloy's man. He's going to match up against him next week.
Good luck.
He might scare Jared. Kick in has been marked by Walker for Fremantle. Yes, they desperate. Oh, there's a cough up here. Lockie will get a goal. No, he won't. Well, you'd normally back him in because he's a very good kick, Tarkin Lockyer, and let himself down a little bit there, scoring a behind.
That's right. I tell you what, if there's an element of doubt when you've got the ball in your hands deep in the back pocket, going short It's a little bit, well, the percentage is really not your way, are they? So, well, you learn a lesson from that, and obviously, well, fortunately, it wasn't a costly one.
Metropolis kicks in the direction of Fletcher. If there's anything that Fletcher lacks in his makeup, it's probably leg speed, and gee, that kick certainly put Fletcher under enormous pressure. Young Loney, playing just his second game of AFL football, putting enormous pressure on, and the ball being forced over for boundary throw-in. You can see there that Hazelby is back on the ground at the expense of Heath Black. Dockers get the ball in towards their forward 50, punched away by Richardson, away from Pavlich, and forces a boundary throw-in. They desperately need a goal, possibly two. There's 3.5 minutes left. It is a 28-point advantage for Collingwood, and the Dockers, they've got to search forward here. The ball is well and truly within scoring distance. The ruck contest, McKee comes down to Lucuria. Loney, good running by O'Brien. He's going to break the lines there to come hell or high water. No mark taken by Tarrant. Metropolis gathers the crumbs. Little kick by Metropolis is not too bad. Mark taken by Bell. Is there anyone on the end of this? He kicks in the direction of and finds Pavlich. Pavlich, a quick kick in towards half forward. Bootsma couldn't take the mark. Cook can get past. Norrish, short kick, all right. Well done, Norrish. Spotting, vision, effectiveness, perfect.
Very much so, Robbo, and you know, Bell's worked hard there. He was involved in the mix back in the midfield, but he's worked hard forward and found space. And that's the way to do it. I mean, midfielders who are confident enough in their own ability. Hazelby's been trying it all night. Cook.
Bell going for goal number 2. Not good, Peter.
Could have been the captain's goal they were looking for, Robbo, and you were talking about just a second ago. So, well, there's still time for another bite of the cherry, but you'd be very disappointed to miss a goal, a set shot, 30 out.
23 possessions for Bell.
Jukovic coming off. No. Davis warming up and Jukovic staying on.
Yeah, no changes yet. Lockyer.
Well, he is coming off, Sandy, for Wakeland.
Okay, thank you, Robbo. Lockyer brings it into Andrew Dimatina. Demo just going over the top, chipping short to Lucuria. Approaching his half-century of games. This is number 47. Oh, Tarrant just plucks in a one-hander. He's just forward of centre. And speaking of the centre, that's where he directs traffic now. In towards Rintoul. He's called to play on, and he's gang tackled. Back it comes to Buckley. Picks up another hand pass as he gives it to McKee. McKee pumps it long and high. The big fly was by Ben Johnson, all to no avail. And
don't worry about
he
Ben
gave
Johnson.
away the free kick.
I wouldn't go crook at Ben Johnson for that. I tell you what, his endeavours there are enormous to try and keep the ball alive in his forward line.
Longmuir. Over the top to Brown. Had to stand and wait for the galloping hordes. In the end, has time to find James Walker. Walker to Bell. Chipping it down towards half forward. Now goes Matthew Carr. In towards Modra. 2 goals to Tony Modra, both of those in the second quarter.
Well, this could be the second bite of the cherry we were referring to a moment ago, Sandy.
A minute remaining.
You would you'd be pretty happy. Yeah, it does. You'd be pretty happy to have it in the hands of Tony Modra at this point of the game.
But if Bell had kicked a goal and Modra gets this, all of a sudden it's only a couple of goals the margin.
True.
Marvellous word, though. If Modra had kicked it, and Bell had.
But that's just
basically...
basically...
got 6 right in Tassotto last week, mate.
But that's basically just the difference, really. I mean, Collingwood are converting from their chances forward. And the Dockers, you know, it's a low-scoring game. There's only 20 goals been kicked so far. We're nearly up to three-quarter time. You really have to capitalise on the minimal chances that you get.
There's no doubt about this, particularly in the modern game of football. And if you're going to get set shots, and your conversion just needs to be well and truly in the plus side of the ledger.
Gets away once again. Lockyer backing into the pack, showed courage. Belted over the back. Pavlich tries to use the body on McKee, but McKee gets in front and just sockers it towards the centre of the ground. Richardson is lurking there for Collingwood. Gives it off to O'Brien. He comes across the ground towards Carl Steinford. Steinford having to work hard here. Gives it to Dimatina. Precious seconds ticking away for both clubs, especially for the Dockers, as Dimatina finds Tarrant. Tarrant goes into the little space in the pocket. They're making plenty of ground, but can't quite get there in time. Holland is lurking. Malloy's at the bottom, and the umpire says,
Sometimes it's little decisions too, and you can't take anything away from Jones. He's been tremendous. His endeavour at the ball, his work rate is fantastic as a defender. But in that situation, you might find the line, mightn't you? He grabbed it, whereas most defenders might say, well, the safest bet here is put over the boundary.
That's probably where it'll finish at three-quarter time. So there it is. Another absorbing quarter with Collingwood, thanks to Josh Fraser getting away in that term with a couple of goals, as Michael Malthouse in his 18th season is coaching his 402nd game, and he's got a wonderful record with 230 wins. Nathan Buckley, you can see in picture there, 33 possessions to date, so he's on target for the big 4-0, and who said life begins at 40? And it does.
He just demands it, doesn't he? I mean, He covers some territory. He did, I think, 2 kick-ins from Fremantle behinds that were kicked. He gets the ball in the middle of the ground. He tries to generalise things around the half-forward line. He's just a genius.
So it is three-quarter time. The Dockers certainly hanging on, but they've got to come out with a couple of quick goals. The Pies are 12-11. Fremantle are 8 goals 9. That's a tough man, Dougie. Here we go, final quarter. Can the Dockers snatch victory here at Colonial? They're down 12-11 to 8-9. The margin is 26 points. It was 14 points at half-time. First goal absolutely imperative. Bootsma gets a high ball up towards left half forward. O'Brien parked underneath it but couldn't take it cleanly. Freeborn sneaks out wide, goes to the open spaces. Buckley leads in the race, picks up another possession. What number's that, Robbo, please? Finding Tarrant.
34.
34 possessions to Buckley. Tarrant 55 metres out. Malloy dropping back. He goes in towards the pocket. Malloy!
Just while this is happening, Tarrant has been pretty good. 15 kicks, 1 hand pass, 11 marks.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Short.
Inside.
Back to Malloy again. He eludes 1, eludes 2. Gives it quickly across to Holland. He bends it back for 1 behind.
Now, Buckley, I just got to wind the clock back about 30 or 40 seconds. Buckley was about 3 deep. He just kicked down another gear. He's got a 6th. And he reeled the possession, and under pressure at full pace to find Tarrant like that was fantastic. Just Jared, if he had his time again, Jared Malloy might not have passed that off.
Fair enough. 84 plays 57, a 27-point margin in favour of the Magpies as we watch Parker bring the ball back into play for Fremantle. Goes in the direction of Longmuir, but gathered by Rintoul. Steinford just a slight fumble, and it's ever so critical, isn't it? Longmuir gets it out to Bootsma, who's been pretty good for Freo. He kicks to the feet there of Hazelby, who's just had one of those nights, Paul Hazelby. Kicked away by Glenn Freeborn at the feet of McKee. Maybe Steve McKee just could have made a couple of metres there and perhaps stifled the ball at his feet.
Yeah, you could say that. Sometimes it's hard. You pick up the flight. The lights here at Colonial sometimes catch you, and it only takes a split second of indecision and you look silly sometimes.
Well, he continues to be effective in the ruck, and here's Buckley. Buckley just kicking the ball, a casual 45. Oh, good mark. Excellent mark. Taken by Jones, this time away from Malloy. Can he switch play? He will to Carr. Carr's got Black running, but Tarrant is not going to Carr. Now he's still not going, and eventually left Black for a moment or 3, and Black was able to get the ball back from Matthew Carr. This is Grover. Grover goes down towards half forward. No mark. The crumbs will be gathered. Hazelby should kick a goal. Hazelby in towards Tony Modra. I tell you what, even though Modra's kicked 3 goals, that guy there, Simon Prestigiacomo, he doesn't get many plaudits, but he's never far away from his opponent, is he?
Well, he doesn't get many plaudits because he's not a super rebounding defender, but he does his job on his opponent. He's tight, he's hard, and surprisingly quick for such a big fella. But you know, one day he'll add that extra dimension to his game. He'd be very influential.
From the throw-in, ball is pushed across the face of goal, and Tarkin Lockyer sees it drift over the line on the full, so he'll bring it back into play for Collingwood. No addition to the score. 84 plays 57. Collingwood leading. Freeborn running from the ground for the Maggies. A change imminent. Davis set to come back on. Short to the outer side.
I guess who's got it? He brings his own footy, I'm sure.
27 kicks. It's possession number 36. An extraordinary achievement.
If he quotes the best on ground.
Darren picks himself up. In towards the middle. Here's Fletcher. Played on very quickly. They're trying desperately through Metropolis to get something going. It's a long kick, but it's poorly directed. And Richardson is there just dropping back, taking the uncontested mark. So they're out of trouble once again. Malloy is a long, long way from his zone.
He did well, Sandy. He worked hard. He chased hard through the centre there and almost affected a miss kick, but then he pushed on. And look, that's a sign of his new fitness, Jared. He's stepped up a notch there, that's for sure.
Shake of the head from Damien Drum there with Ross Glendinning. Jones held for a while. Dimatina at the bottom of the pack. Hazelby over the top of him. No one able to get that ball out. Collingwood last year won 7 and lost 15. Fremantle won 8, lost 14. Dean Laidley, the man Peter McKenna dubbed the junkyard dog on the right. Hyman on the left, Malthouse in the middle. Woods edged out by O'Brien. Parker spiralling a high ball in towards a full forward. A brave attempt to mark. Here's an opportunity now. The hand pass shot out by Bell to Pavlich. Pavlich onto the left foot, snaps and kicks the goal.
Third goal for Matthew Pavlich, Sandy, and well, he hasn't had that many opportunities, I guess. 7 kicks, 2 handballs and 3 goals.
Look, he has that, but he's shown some great signs tonight. He's working through his game a lot better, Matthew, and you know, he's hanging in there. He's creating opportunities for himself. Great work here by Modra. He's had to play 2-on-1 a lot of the night. A little bit lucky, but you know, here's Bell mopping up. He does what he's best at, finding someone in a better position than him, and Pavlich showing some good poise there to finish it off.
Well, it's not insurmountable. There's plenty of time left. 21 points in arrears are the Dockers. And Longmuir knocks it down. But it's kicked away by Steinfort off the left. Lands awkwardly at half forward. Buckley again. Hand pass. Back to Steinfort. Steinfort directly towards goal. Walker dispossessed. Ball spills to the front of the pack. Kicked back there by Metropolis. Now Buckley again. He's going to get run down, but he got the handball away. Hazelby, I tell you, there's a bloke there going to get the ball now, Lucurio, who's been absolutely enormous on Paul Hazelby. This time lets himself down a little bit. The kick was meant for McKee. Cook was there, and this time Steinfort tackled by Pavlich. The free kick will go to Collingwood to be taken by the skipper, which obviously was a free kick just prior to the Steinfort-Pavlich situation.
He got the handball out. I don't know what he's been credited with it.
Oh,
stats man Kevin O'Neill is probably one of the best in the business, and I'm sure he won't miss it. That'll be hand pass number 12, Kev.
38 posies. McKee streaming through the middle of the ground. That kick, I'm absolutely certain, Steve, was not meant for Shane Wakeland. But I guess Steve McKee will say at the post-match
of
that
course
it was
he will.
A definite pass.
And so he should. Any scrubber that lands on their chest for your teammate, you'll claim it. Don't worry about that.
Well, he's a pretty good kick of the football, Shane Wakeland. You would think he'd get the distance. It's a thumping kick easily to the line, but no accuracy whatsoever. And that Dockers fan is pretty happy with the result.
I tell you, for Dockers, it's not unheard of. I mean, if they get a goal pretty quickly here, they're still putting time in the game, because the game's a bit of a stalemate at this particular point in time. So someone can take it by the scruff of the neck.
Pavlich bringing it back in, and strong mark taken by Longmuir. Kicked the early goal for the Dockers in the first quarter.
Paul, you've rated his performance tonight?
Very highly. Yeah, I've really enjoyed what he's done tonight. He hasn't made too many mistakes when he's in possession.
O'Brien over the top. There's the spoiler. Woods waiting down, gets it off towards Carr. He's picked up plenty. You might get caught behind. Gets a kick towards Modra. Couldn't take it cleanly on the half volley. The Buckley hand pass to no one in particular on that occasion. Johnson could be on the end of it. No, it's taken to Steinfeld. Carl's kick is wide towards centre wing, and Stephen McKee makes good ground. He's got it now as he goes to the half-forward line. O'Bree's away. No one coming at him. O'Bree closing in on 50. Couple of bounces. Go all the way. No, he left foots it. Centering kick in towards half-forward. Holland goes storming through. Off hands it comes to Davis. Davis chips towards goal, but he's off target. It's for one behind for Nick Davis.
Well, they're hustling. O'Brien has done the right thing there to switch it inside to the corridor. And, well, everyone was licking their chops there because they're all under the crack, but unfortunately wasn't able to finish off.
85 plays 63. Heath Black in game number 50. The young man heads to the outer side. At the back is Buckley. He's not going to be required. I've just been watching him for a moment. He's covering enormous territory. Loney's kick comes in towards half-forward. Now they can set something up, but no. It's going to be chopped off. Rintoul worked hard to keep it in the area. Will have to go again. McKee, some holding on. And it's going to go the Dockers' way. Bell towards Woods. Woods just forward of centre wing. You're going to have to be quick. Sneaks away from McKee. From 50, it slews off the side of the boot. It's a high ball, making good ground and taking the mark has Ben Cunningham.
You know, it's amazing.
Plays on.
I'll let Paul go after this.
Yep. Hazelby, he can kick a goal now.
I'm sure the first kick meant by Woods had everyone going to the right of the goal square, and then when he kicked it, it slewed off the side of his boot and advantaged Cunningham. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. Gave it plenty of air and, yeah, just kicked it off the fatter side. There was more space there. And sometimes you can make mistakes and get away with them when it's time, and Hazelby's finished it off.
He gets a great goal. Hazelby's first.
Well, I tell you what you said before, Paul, you know, you can't drop your guard. They haven't got a margin that they can sit back on their heels and relax on, Collingwood.
No, certainly not. There's still
plenty of time.
12 minutes left in this game. And I said the game is at a bit of a stalemate where neither side is saying, well, I'm going to finish it off or I'm going to take it over. So, well, who knows? A quick goal here by the Fremantle Dockers could turn it right on its ear.
Well, you give Paul Licuria a rap for having smothered Paul Hazelby for most of the night, and all of a sudden Hazelby pops up and gets a goal. Amazing stuff. Well done, Rintoul, to dispossess and then get the kick away. Up towards half-forward, awkward bouncing ball. Walker, Josh Fraser, handball, Rintoul again. Well done, good kick. Just waited it to enable Davis to run onto the ball. He's 50 metres from goal. I think he's going to go short. Lockyer, well, he'll certainly kick the distance, this boy.
And a good kick at the football too, young Tarkin Lockyer. It was good play by Nick Davis. I mean, players sometimes don't realise when they've got the ball in their hands, they've got control of the game. They can wait till an option presents itself. And on this occasion, it was Lockyer who's done so. And he rates himself from about 50 out, Robbo.
Well, I think we've seen a few players here tonight certainly get the distance. Even Shane Wakelin, who kicked the ball out of bounds on the full, got the distance easily. He gets under it a little bit. It is going, and off to the right. So through from behind, keeps the hopes of Fremantle in there for a few more moments in this game. 11 minutes left. They trail 69 to 86. 17 points. It's certainly a margin that is attainable for the Dockers.
That one just about clean bowls everyone. Modra comes charging out. Johnson is there, twisting and turning, dodging and weaving. It's a high ball by Ben Johnson, and McKee takes a good mark. He's been good tonight, McKee. In fact, an interesting stat is that Collingwood's last goal was the 18-minute mark of the third quarter. So, you know, the Dockers might be able to sense this. And this young kid, Longmuir, has also stood up tonight and said, well, I'm going to play a big role on the Dockers side this year. Bootsma takes his short pass, then goes long. Modra is his target. Richardson going back with the flight of the ball. Beautifully stolen again by Licuria. Away comes Collingwood, off to Carl Steinfeld. To the outer side he goes with a penetrating kick up towards Tarrant. Still a long way from home. Holland gives him a lead, he's ignored. No one on the mark, he can get going. Well, it just takes a couple of steps. Buckley was his target.
Did he give a little nudge?
Oh, I think it was just misjudged, wasn't it, by the Fremantle player?
You've got to give Bootsma a bit of a pat in the back here. Just to go for the mark, but the problem was there, he's lost Buckley and he's got himself in the wrong position. I mean, you just don't do it. Sometimes you get overawed by the opponent you're on, and I don't mean to say Bootsma is, but you can either be preoccupied with him or you can back yourself in too much to try and turn the tide.
This is his 40th possession.
Oh, he's got there. It's a phenomenal performance.
10 minutes left in the game.
Can his 40th possession be a goal?
Beautiful kick.
What a night for Nathan Buckley. 40 possessions. And he does it with a goal.
Now, quite a few years ago, the World of Sport program that you were pretty heavily involved in, which Ron Casey ran for many years, the late Ron Casey, they had a competition called Champion Kick.
Yes. Correct.
If you had it now, Nathan Buckley would be unbeatable, I reckon. They used to have stab kicks.
Yep.
I think you had to kick a torpedo punt.
Correct.
And I tell you what, I reckon he could do any one of them.
He'd be very hard to beat, no question of that. And is real steadier for Collingwood.
Well, that certainly was, if you can say there's such a thing as 10 out of 10 kicking-wise for goal, that was a beautiful kick by Nathan Buckley. 92 plays 69, back out to 23 points. Lockyer tries to dispossess Bootsma, knocks it forward. Metropolis, Buckley, handball, wide. Dimatina runs into trouble. Got the handball away. Was it too high? Yes. Umpire very quickly on the scene. Andrew Dimatina will take the free kick, and Fremantle will swing a change. It
Is
looks
he lucky
like
here, Robbo? Did he throw it out there?
I think maybe the tackle over the shoulder might have happened just a split second earlier. Grover off the ground and Brown back into the fray for Fremantle. A couple of their players on a learning curve, I guess. They haven't played a lot of football, but
well, they have justifiably reasonable expectations of themselves this year, and getting off to a good start is critical. But Collingwood have looked like they might win a game they just have to win.
Dimatina goes for goal, and he has kicked it. So Andrew Dimatina, maybe a little bit of good fortune, gets Collingwood's 14th goal, and all of a sudden, when Fremantle again were challenging, Collingwood answer with 2 quick goals, back out to 29 points.
Well, I'd like to rewind some of the snippets of the game tonight and just see just how many times Buckley's had a hand in goals tonight. The feed there to Dimatina. May put him under a little bit of pressure, but he'd be pretty happy to get a goal under his belt, Dimatina, for a handy contribution this evening.
9 players have contributed goals for Collingwood. The question now is, can Buckley notch up 50 possessions? 9
minutes left.
Back in the middle. McKee wins it out of the middle, but it's the Dockers who take it down towards Bandy. He's still on centre wing. He's got Wakelin on the mark. Daniels away. Punt kick towards half forward. Lockyer almost tripped up his teammate, but has time to steady and has support from Lucuria and needs it. Caught and is gone. Great tackle. Will come back. It's got to come back. Peter Bell wants to go on with it. No, Ringmeyer. Back you come.
Well, it's a shame. It would have been nice for the Docker fans to see that one go through, but Pavlich will have a shot if he so chooses from around 50 out.
Well, he can kick a ball.
Paul Lucuria got a little lost there, didn't he?
He did a bit.
Hasn't made too many mistakes during the evening, but obviously just trying to get the ball to the advantage of a teammate. And locked up
28
by
touches himself tonight, Robbo.
I think he's done very well.
Yes.
So Pavlich, who has 3 goals, 1 in the first term, 1 in the third, 1 earlier this quarter, to keep the Dockers' faint hopes alive. Kicking from 49 metres. He's a prodigious kick. And that is a magnificent kick off the boot. That is an absolute beauty.
Paul,
yep.
Sometimes we feel as if we've done the job, if we've maybe played a decent game of footy and gone down graciously. There's no such thing as a gracious defeat, is there? You know, if you're close enough, you've got to be good enough to get over the top of the opposition.
Well, I tend to disagree with it slightly, because sometimes there can be gracious defeats, sides that have given it their all and just haven't climbed over the top. But tonight, Fremantle have had their chances and haven't grabbed them by the scruff of the neck.
McManus preparing to get back into the action. McKee for the Magpies. Longmuir, they've had a terrific battle, the two young guns for their respective teams. Buckley, Lockyer, wide. Rintoul has been pretty good. Steinfort, back to Rintoul. Rintoul away from Fletcher. O'Brien got his foot to the ball. Bounces a little awkwardly for Nick Davis, but he's got that just confidence. Lucuria gone, handball away. O'Brien in trouble. Shepherd provided, I think it may have been Steinfort. Wakeland goes back to Lucuria. Lucuria into the full forward area. No mark taken for the Maggies. Cunningham gathers. Little kick. Bandy. Bandy for Fremantle. 23 points the margin. 7 minutes left. This is Black looking down the ground. Player on his own. Longmuir made good ground. Kicks in the direction of Modra. Little touch by Prestigiacomo. Goes back and provides a Shepherd for Lucuria. Hand pass in the Wakeland direction. He's gone over. Quite happy to ask the boundary umpire to throw it in. Cook off and McManus on for Fremantle.
Just sometimes you don't have to send those passes forward like a bullet. You can just give them a bit of air and put them into space and let Modra run onto them. You're making it very hard for your full forward to stop prop on a bullet like that. Give him no chance.
Well, opportunity here for Hazelby. Can't get clear. Lucuria the tackler in, went McManus front on to Lucuria. One of the things about Paul Lucuria, I'm sure Collingwood during the week, he was dumped to the ground unceremoniously in the match against Hawthorn last week, and one of the things that Collingwood mentioned was that I think it was during the Ansett Cup that he copped a whack in the cheek somewhere or the jaw, and he's got a plate, I think, and he just, like he's in there in the middle of the action doing the best he can. Cunningham, was it a snapshot for goal? Is it a goal? No, it's hit the post. Well, no luck there for Cunningham. Ben Cunningham kicking it behind for Fremantle. Margin 22 points in favour of Collingwood.
Collingwood will be back here next Saturday night up against the Western Bulldogs. Fremantle head home and will be at home to host Hawthorn on Sunday. Lockyer has his path cleared and he finds Buckley. Oh, what a grab. When 42. You're into the 40s. 42.
This is 43.
I'll tell you
43.
what,
6 minutes left.
Robbo, you said 10 out of 10 for kicking. I've seen some great performances, but tonight, 10 out of 10 for everything display. He is an absolute ripper, Nathan Buckley.
Good on you, Hawk.
I think we've been privileged to see it too, haven't we? Whenever a player can get and have as much of the ball as he has had and use it as he has, it's a delight to watch.
Robbo, I remember watching a bloke in the 80s, early 90s who had skills similar to Buckley. He's on the boundary for us
number
tonight.
7.
Yeah, yeah, he could play a bit.
Thanks, Big Fish.
No worries, mate.
Collingwood then into attack again down towards Tarrant.
The fellow in front should have been paid the mark there.
Not going to be paid and play on.
Kidding.
Back it comes to Fraser. Fraser can bury this game. He can seal it for Collingwood, and he has.
Well, what a repertoire. Check side, banana.
But take the ball, take the play back. If that's not a mark to Brown,
you'll go,
Well, right. I mean, I agree with you.
I don't believe it. Man in front, got a grip of it, took it to the ground.
That is a mark.
He had enough of that, didn't he, Paul?
He had all of it. It was he'd smothered. It's bemusing. You just don't know sometimes. The umpire's got a call as they see it.
It's a nightmare.
Tell you what, this bloke for a big, tall fellow playing in the ruck has got some skill, hasn't he?
Well, he showed us tonight. I mean, I didn't know just how many strings to his bow he had, but tonight he's shown he's got another one, and that is off the boot. Very accomplished indeed.
And he's letting Shane Parker know all about it too. So the bounce back at the centre, and that probably will snuff out the Fremantle challenge, you would think. What's that now? 28 points a game. Don't mind the look of this young fella. I think if you can straighten him up a little and he adds a little bit more experience, I'm sure he'll be a player for Fremantle. The kick goes all the way to the half-forward line for Collingwood. Carr, left foot kick in the direction of Woods. Can't quite get past O'Brien. Held when he didn't have the ball.
That's clever. He was under pressure, didn't take possession.
Started on the ground but was quickly taken off when I felt as if he perhaps didn't chase quite as hard as he could have. Fraser from Parker to Holland. Little kick by Holland towards full forward. Good mark taken by Carr.
On the last line of defence, he's had a fairly busy night. Finds Bandy on the outer side, and with Lee Brown, they lope away. Brown kicks towards Hazelby. Just had one of those nights tonight, Paul. Off again to Woods again, down towards Pavlich. Just a little too far for him, and Richardson takes it over.
Richardson,
crowd here tonight of 26,067. Paul?
I was going to say Richardson is not as underrated as you like to think amongst his peers. He's a very accomplished defender, and I mentioned him earlier, but he deserves a pat on the back. He's, what he's done with his career is fantastic.
44.
Picks up another possession with his 31st kick, and that gives him, as Robbo said, 44 possessions for the night.
Do you know what we ought to do? We ought to write down and keep every record and just go back and see if the umpires give him 3 votes in the Brownlow.
Well, perhaps that can be your task. Jot it down and see how we go. Round 2, we'll get the 3-2-1. That's about 6 months away, Robbo.
That's a free kick.
Not paid.
Buckley again.
Buckley hand pass over the top towards Malloy. That's 44 possessions.
45.
45. With 3.5 minutes remaining. Well, you were the one, Robbo, who suggested 5 or 6 minutes ago. Can he get 50? You could be right. Still on the sidelines.
That Toomey brother will get into it again. Give it to me.
He's a great player, isn't he?
Oh,
to the line.
Actually, with being serious, they were. Collingwood are playing here tonight. They were great family representation of the Collingwood Football Club. Bill Toomey, who I knew very well, and Mick Toomey and Pat Toomey, etc. Great family tradition.
No doubt about that. Dimatina around the body, a high ball. Fraser's got to stand and deliver, and he did exactly that. He knew that Matthew Carr was coming at him. He stood his ground with this young man. He's booted 4 goals, 4 gems. Goes in towards the lead of Tarrant. Can't take it cleanly, but there's been a whistle. He's got a free kick for a high tackle.
Hey, Robbo, did you know the cousins of the Toomey's family?
Go on.
Sock it to me, give it to me, handball it to me.
What about pass it to me?
I left that one out. Sorry, mate. I left that for you.
Apparently the comedy festival's on in Melbourne at the moment. I tell you what, some of them have escaped and have made it to Colonial Stadium.
Sorry, Sandy.
Paul, just
right,
quickly, what did you think of that free kick reported to Chris Tarrant?
Oh, questionable, in a word. Yeah. Questionable.
Here's the kick from 46 metres on the left foot and away for 1 ball.
So I just think those sort of things destroy the opposition. I mean, I guess the umpires have got direction, but sometimes the kamikaze stuff around the middle of the ground, you battle like blazes to get a kick, and they just say play on, play on, play on.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden a free kick like that on the full forward line destroys your any sort of confidence and momentum that you've got.
No, it's a very valid point, Robert.
Hazelby takes it from Black towards Modra. If it sits, he could be in business. Tony Modra at the back of the pack.
Well done.
Does it so well. 3 goals to Tony Modra. Oh, Robbo, 569 in his career.
Well, percentages tonight, haven't they? I mean, he hasn't had many chances. He's just had 4 kicks, and again, I reiterate my comments from earlier that Simon Bresta-Giacomo has he's worn him very closely, and Tony Modra 3 from 4 is pretty good.
Well, you do have to make the most of your opportunities, and a side like the Dockers, who can be a little bit indiscriminate with their forward manoeuvres, but Bresta-Giacomo can hold his head up. He's a tough opponent.
Well, with 2 minutes left, I think it's important that Fremantle just keep their minds right on the job. Perhaps they might get the goal that could be forthcoming in the remaining couple of minutes. A kick up towards the half-forward area. Brown has been just absolutely smashed to the ground. Umpire saw that as unfair. We might have another look here. Bang, Malloy. What's a D9 or a tractor look like when it's just smashed into your lead? Out wide, Jones for Fremantle. Down the line. At the feet there of Hazelby. Away from him is Holland. Handball over the top. This is Lockyer. Left it behind. Maybe had it spent before he'd really gathered the ball. Now Nick Davis. Handball. In trouble was Steinfort. Ball spills for Malloy. Nick Davis has run on, but not able to get to the fall of the ball there as it trundled just in front of him over for a boundary throw-in. 23 points. If they could get a goal and maybe get it back to 17, would be reasonable rewards for their efforts, but it looks like it's Collingwood's 4 points. Woods out wide to Bell.
Bell kicks up towards Hazelby, who marks on centre wing.
Dockers just haven't got quite enough from players like Hazelby tonight and Cook.
Bandy tried to slap it forward and did so rather effectively. He was looking for Parker, but it's been intercepted by Wakeland. Cook tries to smash it back. Wakeland again belts it in the air. It floats high, taken by Loney, who was well tackled. Johnson there to give him assistance, and he needs it. Parker over the top to McManus. He's inside 50. He can go for the short pass. It's effective, and he finds Pavlich.
It's a good decision. He's just got to go back and have a shot now. That man is there. I mean, you're in two minds. So you can have a shot in the run. Percentages are that you're better than half a chance, but give it to a bloke like Pavlich in a good position there. Custodian have a set shot, no pressure.
Young man from Woodville, West Torrens, coming from a fairly famous footballing family in South Australia. Pavlich, 30 metres out, going for goal number 5. Pretty good kick too by the young man. He's done well. 5 goals in a losing side for the 19-year-old, and 5 goals from 10 kicks.
It's a great effort by Pavlich. He's just really hung in there. He's gritted it out, and he's presented himself. He kept on presenting himself and giving him a chance. He's on no slouch in Richardson, so it's another step in the right direction for his career tonight, Robbo.
Actually, good signs there where they had 3-2 around the ball, where they forced Collingwood to just lose possession of the ball, which resulted in McManus getting the kick to Pavlich. Well, only half a minute left. Barely a chance here for either side to score, but Buckley might do it anyway. Cap it off. This could be the grand finale, couldn't it? All the way to the full forward area. Hurried off the hands of the players down there in that right forward pocket, and over for a boundary throw in.
Can you be changing into gear like he does this late in the game after the game he's had? I mean, just broke clear there, and it's a credit to his fitness. I've witnessed something pretty special tonight in Nathan Buckley's
46 possessions.
So in the right forward pocket, Collingwood a chance to kick a goal. Malloy, left foot snap, bounces just inside and then over. About 20 metres around from the Collingwood goal, it'll be thrown in, and this will be the last passage of play. It'll be a 17-point win for the Magpies, one would think. And Damien Drum still to open his account in season 2001. There's the siren. Collingwood win over Fremantle by 17 points. Matthew Pavlich was the leading goal kicker on the ground. He kicked 5. For the Magpies, Josh Fraser kicked 4. And also for Freo, Tony Modra got 3.
Well, it was a tremendous effort by the Magpies tonight. There is the man on the screen. Nathan Buckley, 46 touches. It's quite a phenomenal thing just to roll off the end of the tongue, that. But a great game, one out of the bag for him. That's twice as many as he had last week, and they said he had a quiet one. Well, I'll be talking his game up this week. The Collingwood players will be pretty happy. The Dockers hung in there, and credit to them for their grit tonight, but they just didn't have the weapons required to get over the line and to make Collingwood pay for some of their lapses tonight. Mick Malthouse will be pleased with the 4 points because they really did need them to say the least, but there'll still be a lot of elements in Magpies' game tonight, Robbo, that he can work on.
Let's go down to Dougie Hawkins because he's got the possession master right there with him. Turn that on, Dougie. Dougie's got a problem.
Well, that's a pity because, I mean, Nathan Buckley was just absolutely sensational.
The Hawks have been disappointed too.
Yeah.
He's dropped his head out there.
Yeah.
Last time he dropped his head on the wing was about 7 years ago. But so we'd love to have heard what Nathan had to say, but I'm sure he'd just be proud of the boys, that's all. It was a good collective effort.
You'd like to also find out whether he was puffing. Because look, I mean, Paul, he covers the ground, doesn't he? I mean, he's just a beautifully balanced athlete. He's got that bit of strength as well. As much as he's got all the ability in the world, all the natural skills in the world, he's got body strength and just endurance.
He's so difficult to man up, and I know that when you're preparing for a game against the Magpies, you put a lot of time and effort into Nathan Buckley just to see how you can quell his influence on the game. And there's no definitive answer to it. You just got to put almost your best player on him at times, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. But if you can shut him down and keep him to 20-odd, you've got a chance. And the Magpie Army's pretty happy. They haven't seen too many wins the last, since last season, of course. So
I think last week against Hawthorn, one of your old teams, and just last year, of course, but they kicked 10-15, I think. And in the third quarter, Sandy, I think they kicked 2 goals, 7. And I believe that maybe if they'd have kicked a little bit more accurately, the result could have been different last week against the Hawks.
There's a very enthusiastic supporter there saying, come and give me a hug, fellas.
26,067 here tonight. I think that might grow next Saturday night when they're back here again and face the Western Bulldogs, who, like Collingwood, opened with their first win for the season today.
You know, there's been a ceremony during the game too. That Collingwood army out there behind the goals to the right end of screen, they knighted Nathan. He's now Sir Nathan. Did you know that?
Well,
that's just an update, sports update.
I know you're that busy concentrating on the Brownlow medal and you're marking down your 3-2-1s. But he deserves a knighthood after a 46 possession performance like that. So they're on the board. The Dockers certainly not disgraced. It's always a tough ask.
There's a good sign there too. I think just off to the right there was Anthony Rocker, wasn't it, Paul?
Yep.
It was. Anthony's in the rooms, and well, he's not going to be. You know, spend too much time out of this side, you wouldn't imagine. They've given him a chance to catch his breath, grab a few possessions, and see how he stands up.
Gavin Brown, the former skipper, now a runner. And what a magnificent leader he was, wearing the number 26 Guernsey. So I'm sure the boys will be in pretty good voice here for their song after they went on to record a 17-point victory over the Fremantle Dockers.
I said, nice one, bruv. We really won.
Hardest thing in the world, isn't it, to get this chorus going, Sandy?
Oh, it takes someone to kick it off. There you go.
Side by side we stick together to uphold the Magpies. Hear the barricades are shouting as all barricades show. For the premiership's a key, for the good old Collingwood.
I think Jared Malloy was a little bit amused by the whole thing there, watching that.
What key was that sung in, Sandy?
C flat, possibly any flat at this time of the night.
Emphasis on the flat.
Oh, golly.